Hit that motherfucking button, man. Hit that button, man. We back. Hit the. Hey. Hey, the production is coming, man. Y'all hear the beat. Shout out to Webbs.
Shout out to C Webbs.
Shout out to Webbs.
Yeah, I heard the boy on the last lost episode.
That is. And we back.
What?
And we back. So yeah.
And we're back. Episode 6 of Hot Takes and Half Truth.
That's right. How's it feel to say that again, man? It's been a little...
Feels good, baby. Feels good.
You've had a little hiatus.
Yeah, I recorded live in the JKM studios.
Yeah.
In sunny, beautiful. And it's actually sunny today.
It's sunny today.
West Palm Beach, Florida.
I came prepared. Y'all see the shades. I came prepared, man. So yeah.
It's your boy, Ivy Joe.
It's your boy, Jacory, Just King. Yeah, the father of justice. You heard
Yes,
me.
sir.
You
We
heard
have
him.
some new... We already let the world know that we have some additions to the family.
Yeah. The young king, the prince. The heir to the throne. He's here.
Yes, sir.
He's here, man. Let me get an applause, man. Where the applause? Y'all see the production?
Yeah.
Do y'all see the production is improving, man? The production is improving.
Yes,
Slowly
sir.
but surely.
Yeah,
Pretty soon.
We're going to do it, man. We getting around. We getting it up to.
Absolutely. So, we're going to do a recap.
Do a little recap, man. I mean, definitely it starts off with the blessing.
Yeah. March 3rd.
Yes, sir.
Pisces season.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Day after my mama's birthday.
My mom's and my grandmother was March 1st. So
Okay. Well, there it is. You got your...
bunch of love for that.
You say your grandmother?
Well, her mother, she's passed now, but I never forget that.
So your grandmother's mother or your mom's
My
mother?
mom and her mother.
Okay.
March 1st.
Oh, both?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So there you go. Mom and mother. Mom and grandmother, March 1st. My mother is March 2nd.
That's what's up.
And now my son is March 3rd.
Bro, it was just meant to be, bro. This was meant to be.
It was.
The more and more we be around each other, I just know.
It was, man. It was.
And then, today.
Absolutely.
Another day around the sun.
Happy birthday to my boy.
Appreciate it, my man.
Give yourself a round of applause, man. Come on. You working the board. You got to.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm still getting used to it, baby. Still getting used to it. But, yeah, man. Another day around the sun.
No doubt.
Plan to go pretty hard this weekend, We're going to get into one of them. I plan to go see her perform tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we must, because I have no, I've been up to my neck in diapers, man.
I told your wife about.
Oh, okay. Is she on the docket? Yeah.
Yeah, she.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know who you're talking about now.
I told her about it. She had the improv this week.
I know who you're talking about now. I'm on game now. I'm back up to speed, man.
Yeah. So with that said, I guess have you been? I know you've been busy changing diapers and stuff, but
Yeah, absolutely.
has there been any music that came across your ear? What you're listening to?
I've been listening to a lot, so I really didn't take note of too much. I mean, P&B Rock got a new joint out called I Like Girls or something like that.
Okay.
It's a nice little summer, spring type summertime vibe. So that's the
What is that again?
P&B Rock. I think he's from Philly
Okay.
dude. P&B Rock
Check
featuring
that
Lil
out.
Skies, and it's like I said, it's just like a nice little kind of party vibe
I Like
record.
Girls.
Yeah.
I know about that.
You got the Nah, there you go. There you go, man.
Got to get used to it.
We're gonna update these sounds, y'all. Don't worry. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get a few other extra ones in there. But yeah. So I caught that. Other than that, 2 Chainz albums dropped
I need to listen to that.
since
I
we've
think that's
been
gonna be-
away. Anderson .Paak got some new stuff out. It's a lot, man. It's it's hard to stay up on it all. So, but
Yeah, we busy, man. We have 9 to 5.
not even that. It's just because I keep the AirPods in, but it's just so much music drops, so it's hard to stay up to date on all of it. But that's all for me. What about you?
Only thing I wanted to bring up, it was just, and it really, the thing that it came across my mind today because I was driving back from Boca today, and it happened to come on the radio. But I think it's J. Cole featuring 21.
Yeah,
A
lot.
That shit goes hard, man.
A lot. Yeah, it's a hard album. It's a hard song.
That
It's a
shit
hard
goes
album,
hard,
but it's definitely a hard song. Yeah.
Like I was sitting there like, God, I've been sleeping on this. I need to go ahead and pick up this J. Cole album because
Nah, that's 21.
that's 21.
Yeah, that's his song.
But I know he had a song with him though. That's okay. So that's 21.
That's that song, yeah. But it's on 21 album.
All right, well, shit, man, that shit goes hard, man.
So yeah, man. So we already. I mean, I guess very much a recap for me. Been on for the past 3 weeks. Had the kid, baby boy, March 3rd, 6 pounds, 3 ounces. Is that right? I'm forgetting this already. 6 pounds, 3 ounces, 20 inches long. Young Justice Demetrius.
Sir, yes, sir.
Young Justice Demetrius.
Came into the world.
That's right. So it's been all about him these past couple weeks, him and wifey. So as it should be. So no complaints there. But we back at it. The in-laws at the house today. So when the in-law, I was trying to think of a rhyme, but I ain't got it. The in-laws out the house today, so Jacory is out to play. That's what we're saying.
Jacory is out to play, at least for the next couple hours.
2 hours and 45 minutes. And that's a hard deadline. That's a hard stop.
And I just been chilling, man.
It is. All right, man. So let's it's drink of the week, man. We got to do it. Yeah, celebratory drink of the week. Definitely. I asked you to bring yours and to cover yours because I had a feeling that we would get the same drink.
I'm pretty sure we didn't get the same.
Yeah, I mean,
perhaps we're gonna get something.
It's likely
similar.
that we didn't, but the fact you said the way you were describing it, it was like, okay, well, I got something new, and you like, okay, well, you got something new, and I'm like, all right, well, clearly yours is brown, mine is brown, so
this is true.
So
facts.
Whichever one we don't drink today. We'll drink the other one or that one next week.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I'll definitely put it up because, as a matter of fact, I got 2 for this weekend.
And this actually goes with the topic that we didn't put on there, but we might as well, get into it now. I got this because it is a brand of a gentleman who announced he is retiring from the MMA this week.
Oh.
Mr. Notorious MMA himself.
Got the proper, huh?
Proper 12
Gotcha.
Irish whiskey.
So,
y'all see it? You see your boy?
I'm not going to even lie to you. I don't know how to say this shit name.
You don't know how to say none of the drinks you bring in here.
But it's called, I would imagine it's Jollite? Cognac?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, it's definitely cognac.
If it's Spanish, it got 2 L's, so that's a Y sound.
What is it?
Jollite.
Armagnac?
Almanac? That's a book. Bro.
No, not Almanac.
Oh.
Armagnac.
Anyway. Armagnac? I don't know, man.
Anyway, I know
Jollite. Jollite?
I like Jollite. Jollite. I like that. We'll go with that.
You're always getting shit you can't read.
And it definitely was aged 25 years. So it's when we taste this later.
It's already been open. Yeah, it's already been open. So I
had to try it last
night. So I guess
right?
see.
Had to try it.
Could have had a moment with your boy. All right, so let's pull up, man. Let's pull up and let's get to it. We got a lot on the dock. Shout out to Conor McGregor. Wish you the best in retirement, my boy. It's been very entertaining watching you the past couple years, man.
You ain't gonna crack it?
Hell no. That's already open.
Oh, bro. And by the way, Conor, what is it? McGregor. Good luck on your legal troubles.
But man, that's part of the game. He came, he saw, he conquered, got knocked out a couple times, and now he's done with it. He's done trying to sell tickets, but at the same time walk that tightrope. It's hard for MMA. Well, it's hard for him to be such a.
You gonna like that?
It's hard to be such a brand by himself.
I don't know, man. He get himself into trouble, dude. He get himself in too much trouble.
I don't know, man. I think, man, just
when it comes to like that type of situation, because it's another one of those sexual assault type situations. You kind of get yourself in.
Well, I didn't hear about that one. So, all right. Well, we'll save that for another day. But I do want to say thank you for the entertainment, man. Thank you for the fights. It's been crazy to go MMA, dominating MMA, to even getting even being able to step in the ring against Floyd, I mean, that in itself, it just shows you the genius of his marketing, because Floyd ain't going to take no fight unless it brings in some money. And Conor definitely helped sell that fight. I would dare to say he was the heel in that fight.
He definitely was.
And Mayweather was like the golden child, which he hasn't been for his past 30 fights. So that was interesting to see that change of the guard for that one fight. But, you know, it is what it is. But, man, congrats on your career. Congrats on retirement. Wish you all the best, your legal woes, and, yeah, we'll see you around.
Salute.
Yeah. So what you got first, man? Let's jump into it.
I think we're going to go ahead and jump into
Before you say it, I know you like how when you yesterday, so today is Friday the 29th. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, Ivy hits me. It's like, so what we going to talk about? And it's like, bro, we talk about the same shit every week, bro.
Dang, I was saying like,
same shit every week, man, for the past 5-6 episodes. And that's not on purpose.
No,
that's just because them the folks who names keep fucking popping up. Yeah. So, surprisingly enough,
your boy Jesse. Smollett.
God damn, Jesse is back.
He's back in the news, baby.
He's back on the pod. So, Jesse is all charges dropped. This is gonna be quick too, because I don't really know.
I think so.
All charges dropped. The certain aspects of the case have been deemed sealed. He forfeits $10,000 and his what was that, bail?
I don't know, what was the bail?
I think it was. He had to pay him something. I think it was $10,000.
I think he has to pay the 10, but they got that other part where they're trying to make him pay all the cost of the police doing the investigation, which is $130.
Yeah, that ticket came later.
Yep.
But yeah, so he had to forfeit the $10,000 he posted for bail to get out, and whatever. So that's where we at with this, man. And he's still sticking to he didn't lie. So he's not even acknowledging the Nigerians.
Yeah. That too.
Right? The Nigerians' lawyers have actually come out and said that they're now denying everything, which I could have swore that at one point they were saying, yes, we bought all this stuff. Yes, we were complicit in this.
The one thing I was saying, I apologize for jumping there, but obviously they had to change their story for it not to be going forward.
Yeah.
Because if they were still saying that he did this and he orchestrated this whole thing, there's no way they wouldn't bring this to trial.
Yeah, but yes, I agree. There's no but with that. I agree. And then there was also the news came out that basically the prosecutors they botched the evidence.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they said that they did something. I don't have the exact quote right now, but basically they botched the evidence, and since they were tampering with evidence and some other stuff, that's possibly what got them off, and that's probably what's sealed in that file, right? Because if the Chicago PD is already being criticized for its just its mishandling of cases in the past, and they're not really sitting well in the eye of the public, right? And then you have this big high profile case that looked like it was getting served to them on a silver platter.
Yeah.
And then it comes out that, oh no, you bought some of the evidence. I think they even said that there was a receipt or some kind of basically a receipt that shows that they paid the Nigerian boys or something like that. So it's a lot of speculation around this. You know what I'm saying?
Who paid the Nigerian?
The police department. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Right now, now it went from, damn, can't believe, the white dudes done jumped Jesse, poured bleach on my man, couldn't even finish his sandwich, to, damn, this nigga lying like a bitch, to now, damn, the cops paid the dudes to do it. Yeah. And, that's why the files are being sealed, because, again, you redact everything that, basically criminalizes the police department. Redact all that. Get rid of all that. I guarantee you, any involvement they had that was suspect, redact it.
Yeah, that's how they do it, though.
So it's interesting. I don't know what to make of it no more. This is a shit show. I feel like this is literally going to be an empire. And at this point, I just feel like this was all like a ruse, and they're going to have the actual footage from all of this is going to somehow weave itself into the empire plot, which is what I thought the very beginning even when it was the white boy story. But I said, I don't think they would stoop to those levels to attract people. But now I'm back to that. So I don't know, man. What's your take on it?
I mean, I guess what I would say is that kind of getting back to the $130,000, making them being punitive about it. I think that's kind of scaling the walls of the government, attacking citizens at that point. Kind of like what a lot of people were saying. They're kind of scared of like Trump using the DOJ to go after his enemies and how that's actually not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
And I feel like this $130,000 that they're trying to make him pay, and this new one of the state senators is trying to get a bill to where they'll basically take any tax credits.
Yep.
From
any production
that he happens to be a part of. That's punitive.
Unless he pays that money.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think that matters. I think that
no, that's what it said. It said if he doesn't pay, they're going to.
But anyway, that's still punitive, man. And we live in America. You can't do that.
I mean, you can. It's just
you're not supposed to.
There's a word to describe it.
I mean, you're not.
Some people call it blackmail. Some people call it. Yeah. It's borderline blackmail, but I think it's extortion.
But you're not supposed to use the government to go after your enemies for all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what they're doing now. They're trying to make an example of them. And, I think I saw something from someone that was like, a black man finally gets over on the cops, and it's like, how is that? How can that be?
All the outrage, but then when the cops get over on the black man, it's just like,
well, you shouldn't,
should have been crossing the street.
What he was doing?
Should have crossed at the crosswalk.
Cops got a hard job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, dude.
Yeah, I saw it. I think Van Lathan posted that or something like that. Yeah.
Shout out to Van.
Yeah, I saw that, man. And it's I mean, I agree. It is just I don't feel bad for the police department.
No.
I'm not sitting here cheering for necessarily for Jesse, because at this point I just don't know what the hell to think. But if he does actually end up getting out of this and getting over on the cops, I'm cheering for it, not because it's not because he's a black man, but that's like a cherry on the top. It's because you are a piece of shit department and you're abusing your power, and that pie got thrown back in your face. So I'm cheering for that, right? But then it's like, oh, and it was a black dude. It's like, yes, yeah, excellent. So that's all, man.
I think the last thing I'll say is just, now if they were able to, convict this man, go to trial, you know what I'm saying, and let's say for instance they actually convicted the man, would you be still going after the $130,000? So I'm like, yo, you just fucked up.
Probably
he got you.
But we gotta see what happens, man, because he probably not even gonna have to end up paying that.
But what they're saying now, and I was it was a big topic in the barbershop earlier. They're saying the feds may go get him now because apparently he did something in the mail.
He mailed that little ransom fucking letter.
So they're saying the feds can actually take up charges now, but
we'll see.
And I feel like at this point, if they were to do it, it'll be to be punitive because if the
feds wanted him, the feds would have already been after him. I think now people are speculating because that has been there the whole time. That letter was there the whole time, and the feds didn't pursue him. So I don't think. We'll see what happens. I guess it depends on if the Chicago PD police chief or whoever superintendent has a pull at the federal level, if he can get somebody to do something there. But I don't even think, what would that be? Using it would be a small charge.
I don't know, man, because they probably could trump it up as some type of terrorism.
So the thing with that is that you'd have to have irrefutable evidence that he did it.
So that was when
he crushed up the aspirin.
So that was going to be my last little take before, like it was like I feel like for the feds to take it up, it's got to be a slam dunk.
Yeah, and if it was a slam dunk, I feel like they would have already hit him with it already. So it's like I don't think he left his thumbprints on the little letters that he cut out the magazine to make the ransom note. I don't think he put a whole aspirin in there with a thumbprint on it. They say he crushed up an aspirin and put the powder, or somebody did, right, and mailed it off. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll talk about this next week because Jesse just don't want to fucking go away.
Jesse don't want to go away, man.
Jesse,
he get matter of fact.
Cheers.
Yeah. Jesse is fucking getting exactly what he wanted. Attention.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess up next is
Wait. What you got next? Let me.
Cap.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Cap.
Another one we've been talking about. So Cap is back in the news.
Yes, sir. Well, at least they're trying to say his numbers ain't where they said it initially.
I hope this shit ain't true because this shit is pitiful.
I guess my thing with this. So
listen to me. 10 million is.
I was about to say, any money is because at the end of the day, like they were saying, to win the case, he was going to have a lot of proof anyway. And it wasn't necessarily clear cut that he had that. So any money is a win.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting is how, when it first came out, how they were saying like he can't say nothing because of all the NDAs. But all of a sudden now, to kind of like tamper it down, now someone came out and said, "Oh, it was no more than 10 million."
Okay, but this goes back to what I said, is that I believe that at some point, Kaepernick became bigger than the NFL brand. And so out of this whole thing, what did everybody leave that settlement saying? Cap got a bag on the NFL. And it's not about, hold on, it's not about did they, pay him so much that he's bankrupt, but it's just that we came out of this saying Cap got $120 million bag. And then the NFL had to control that narrative because it looks like this player was able to trump the shield.
Well, I never thought that. When I heard 80, I never thought 80 was in. Like I didn't think 80. That just seemed like too much.
But 10 seemed like too little. Like from 80, like if you would have told me 60, 50, 70.
I think when we talked, if you go back, you'll see I was like, I think it's more like 40.
But so at 40, would you say that's successful for Cap?
Dude, even at 10, I say would be successful.
I don't.
I would say 10. Because, again, it was going to be hard to prove unless he had a smoking gun. And
$10 million is a loss.
I don't think so, man. That's
you can retweet that. $10 million is a loss, says a dude with less than $100,000. Ain't even got 100,000. But 10 for Cap in that is that's not a resounding victory. You know what I'm saying?
So a settlement to me is a victory. That means they realized that they couldn't, because let's be frank, NFL is not trying to give away money. If they thought they could beat them, they would have kept this charade up. They wanted it to go away because they realized I need this shit to go away.
Yeah, I know they wanted to go away because I guarantee they lost more than $10 million with Cap doing this bullshit, which is why this shit was worth more than $10. Cap's contract was worth more than 10.
I think
they lost more than 10. He shouldn't have gotten 10. 10 is disappointing.
At the end of the day, I feel like this is someone trying to trumpet or at least help out. I feel like the person they're carrying the owner's water in the sense that they're trying to make it seem like we didn't get beat that bad.
They got beat.
Yeah, and it don't matter. And at the end of the day, to me, you paid, you lost.
Yeah, but that's you, right? That's you, and that's not the public's perception. The public perception is that, I don't know what the public perception is. Let me say this: I don't know what the public perception is, but I feel that the fact that the NFL came out and said that, or that the agreement was announced that like this needs to stay under wraps, or else it's null and void, kind of tells me that there's something in there they don't want getting out.
I feel like it's more than $10 million.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now they kind of baiting them two brothers to say something.
Yeah, to control the narrative because it looks like the NFL was trumped by two guys.
I want you to do something so I can come back and get the money.
Wasn't Reed playing? How was he being?
Like I said, I feel like the majority of the money went to Cap, but he was a plaintiff.
And especially it's definitely a loss if the $10 million was split between the two. If Cap got 7 and he got 3, no. Cap got 7, no. What's Cap's number?
Cap made a number of money. Made money, bro. Captain made.
I understand.
Probably
that.
over north of $50 million, dude. I mean, he has dough. I mean, this is principle type stuff. That's why, like I said, I don't believe the I don't believe the $10 million. That's what I'm saying.
I don't think the NFL is thinking principle. I think they're thinking perception.
No,
and I think they're thinking
this is a $1 billion industry. No, they're thinking perception.
Yeah,
yes,
but we don't live in a world where principle matters. We don't live in a world right now where
principle does matter.
No, principle ain't getting no fucking likes. Ain't nobody liking principles except for Miss King. That's the only principle that's getting likes right now, and that's a Steve Harvey reference. If you ain't get that, only principle that would get likes right now. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. All 17 of you out there in YouTube, bro. Thank you. Yeah, man. Principles ain't getting no likes right now. People want clout. People want. The story, right? The story is more entertaining. The lie is more entertaining. Charlamagne says that all the time. People don't want to believe the truth if the lie is more entertaining. So even the mere narrative that Cap is out there coming out with 60, 70, 80, 100 plus million, that narrative sounds like he won the NFL loss.
He got money, so he did win.
You're arguing reality. This is the same argument me and Ken had the other day, right? We were arguing perception versus reality, and I didn't create the phrase "perception is reality," but unfortunately, that oftentimes is the truth. If you're perceived to be the winner, you won. In a fight, if you hit a dude 100 times, but he cleans you one time and you get laid out, if your count punches, yeah, you won. But you laid out, the perception is he lost this fight. Or if he gets one haymaker that don't knock you out and you landed 100 jabs, the perception is he won that fight. But really, you won. But when you got hit, you go stumbling back and all this and gathering yourself. It looked like you lost. And that's just what it is. Right now, not right now. Before the perception was Cap won. Right now, the perception is the NFL.
I think the problem is whichever metric you use, whether or not he got the haymaker with the $100 million or he hits you so many times with the $10 million, he win. That, at least in my mind. I mean, apparently you plugged into something I'm not plugged into.
I agree with you, but I said I don't like the optics of that. I don't like the optics of how they're switching the story.
But I think the problem. So I think they did that on purpose. Whoever is carrying this water for the league and the owners is doing that precisely to do that, to make it seem like, oh, he didn't really get nothing. He only got 10.
I get that.
And I feel like if them boys was to, or someone to come out to come back with the receipts and say, but no, this is what we actually got, then there's probably something in the fucking language. Then they're going to get
Jussie Smollett.
Yes. So, something in the language.
So
that's
now
like,
you see my fucking problem with it.
He's in a situation where he can't say nothing.
So Cap he did not win. He is playing. If we leave the table right now and you say, hey, this is what we're going to do, but you can't say anything. I can't say anything, right? Nobody can disclose this information from this deal, right? But I walk out of here and people snapping pictures at me, but not at you. But then you say, oh, no. Well, he didn't even get that. You broke the contract, right? But I'm not allowed to go back and defend my character. That's bullshit. You got the upper hand in that situation.
Yeah, but that was going to be the situation from the beginning. I mean, we're talking about a $1 billion industry. Billionaires as owners.
I won't be watching next year.
You can't, he ain't got the money to go back and forth with them guys.
They're not getting my $700 for NFL package this year.
Get it. Yeah, man, they never got it from me.
Me either.
And I don't think I ever would pay for it. Like that just don't.
It wasn't looking for me.
It ain't worth it to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm from a different school.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you in the principle.
If they could make you eat those lawyer fees and stew in it, they would have done it.
But I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm disagreeing with the perception that comes with that. We live in a world where perception, unfortunately, often dictates what you are, and especially in the media, right?
I give you that.
Trayvon Martin. What did the media portray Trayvon Martin as? They don't even know that he was in the little air mechanics, program and all that stuff, right? They think he was a little thug, and that's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem I have with it. I have a problem with somebody trying to control a narrative when we actually get the upper hand. We just talked about the Jussie Smollett case, right?
Yeah.
How is that any different? If Jussie got the upper hand, but now you coming back, you gotta pay this. You just said it's punitive. So it's the same thing. You're assassinating this man's character because he didn't bankrupt you. He just got a bigger check, such a big check that people are like championing him still. But you don't want him being championed.
Well, I guess. So I let's say for instance I give you that, but at the end of the day,
fuck the NFL.
At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, like we always say, a kick dog yell, right? Well, shit, don't.
We have never said that.
A kick dog hollers, whatever. But at the end of the day,
you said that like we always say that on this podcast.
But outside of here, yes, we do. But
the first time ever on this podcast, this is an exclusive.
It may be the first time
on hollers.
It may be the first time on the podcast, but we've said this before. And the thing about it is, if you allow them to know that affects you, they're gonna keep doing it. I'm not gonna allow them to make me feel like that's a loss for him. No, that's $10 million more than either one of them two brothers was gonna have otherwise. And they got it.
I never said it was a loss though. That's what I'm saying. I know it was a win,
but you.
I don't like the optics. That's what I'm saying the whole time. I know you. See, all right. I think this conversation, like even when I'm having these kind of debates with Champ, we are not the norm, and I'm saying that from a place of humility, right? I don't think that we're better than anybody or nothing like that. No. We are not the norm. We are, I think, more informed,
probably
above average informed. Not saying we're like political scientists or NFL business contract, extraordinaires. We're not, but I think we look deeper than the surface level than average people do, and you can call a win, but the average person, like I said, if you walk away with one haymaker, even though I landed 100 punches, they're like, oh, well, he stole him, and that's the perception. The perception is you're the victor. The perception right now, I think from the feedback I've been hearing and the tweets I've been hearing, is that people are kind of disappointed that Cap only got 10 M's.
Did he get 10 M's?
That's what's being reported.
Is that facts? Is there receipts?
We don't know what the hell is fact anymore.
Exactly. So my thing is this: I feel like that's just like someone saying he got 100 million. I don't believe that.
But they're not. But 100 million wasn't leaked.
The 80 to 60 million was leaked.
I've never heard that.
Where do those numbers come from? Where do those numbers come from?
The only number I heard was 10.
$40 to $80 million came from somewhere. It came from somewhere, and it was like, but they can't say nothing.
Whether you're the 40 to 80 sounds like somebody valuing what he's worth.
You just said something about 100. I've never heard that.
No, I said we speculated on that last time.
There was So in my mind, this 10 million is the same thing as that speculation.
Okay, well the 10 million was I saw on ESPN. So if I'm seeing this being reported,
I could have swore that the same speculation of the higher number was on ESPN too.
Maybe, but I didn't see that. So what I'm talking about now, and even when we discussed last time saying 100 million, 80 million, 40 million, that was just us speculating.
Until I see receipts, that's all. All of it is speculation.
But you're not going to see any because he's bound by contract.
Exactly. So I don't have to believe the 10. And even if I did, and even if that is facts. All right, so big picture for me, long money, it's just like when you're playing in Vegas. The house always win. That's because the house always usually have more money. The league, the owners, they got more money than Cap. All they had to do, really, if they wanted to, was just let the shit play out. They didn't want to play out because what? It was hurting their bottom line. So they wrote a check out. Now, exactly what it is, we'll probably never know. But why would
we will never know?
Why would we want to believe that it was 10?
I don't believe it was 10. I was fine with.
I don't believe it was 10 either.
I think you're. Maybe I'm not articulating my aim. I was perfectly fine with the ambiguity, with the uncertain, right? Where they said, "Hey, we settled this. Nobody needs to know."
But there was always.
Oh, we got a caller. We got a caller at JBW Studios. Is it Ken Beauchamp?
Oh no, baby.
No, it is not.
No. We're gonna decline that. That will be removed.
Okay, understood.
I thought it might have been
the Side Chick Chronicles.
Fuck, that's my man.
Oh, ooh.
I should have answered that. It didn't come in right. All right, whatever.
All right, but so I'm not like I understand a win is a win. I had business ventures before where two people and we talked about this. Where two people walked in and left with bread. One of us felt like this is bullshit, and I felt this is a win for both of us. Both of us have more money in our pocket now than we had when we came in this, right? How is this anything negative? Mm-hmm. Right? So I get that. I understand that concept. I understand he won the settlement. He won against the NFL. He was paid, right? I get it. I was happy with nobody can talk about this. And maybe I was happy with that because in my mind, that meant Cap got that bag. And to me, the 100 mil is the bag. 10 mil, not the bag. 10 mil is workman's comp.
Well, I mean, shit. That's basically what it is.
I'm good, man.
Let's be frank.
I'm good. Ivy got the AC on.
I think 3 years he's been out of the league. 3 years. That's at least $30 million. That's why I was like, that's why I was more like 40.
Okay, and that's the number. That's the number you're happy with. And my number is higher than your number.
Like I said, until I see receipts, and again, I guess why I'm being so fervent about it is because I'm like, yo, why are you allowing them to dictate what you feel? Because of the fact that $10 million isn't, that's not necessarily facts. That's just someone saying, this is what I heard.
Let's be clear. I've lost no sleep over this shit. Right? The passion you're hearing is just for the sake of content. I already ain't watching.
I feel like $100 million is the top. And you know how they say in statistics, you throw out the top, you throw out the bottom. I think the $100 million, throw that out. I don't believe that. And hell, I don't even believe 80. And 10 million, I don't really quite believe that. I feel 15 to 20 is like really the floor.
Okay. Numbers being numbers. I don't like the fact that them niggas allowed to leak numbers. I feel like the NFL is trying to leak numbers. That's what I want to believe.
But I feel like,
which we'll get into in another topic, which is these biases and what I'm
the one thing, and I'm gonna leave it alone after this. The one thing I feel like we are not acknowledging the fact that these are billionaires, 32 billionaires, plus the league, which is a $15 billion a year industry. Bruh, they can play the long game. Prove we said something.
We don't know what they make. They don't release financial statements.
I know the league is a $1 billion entity.
Yeah, maybe not.
And just on the mere fact, if you own an NFL team, you're a billionaire. Period. 32 billionaires plus a league that make, I think the last deal was $9 billion in TV rights alone. So
maybe.
Hey,
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They can play the long game. Is all I'm saying. Like they can try. They can play around.
The long game, though.
They can play around in the gray.
That's not the long game. Settling is not the long game. Settling is let's get this shit over now because this is costing us more than it's worth.
But the long game in this particular instance is now they think 80 to 100. Now let's say 10.
And let's leak it through an anonymous source so it doesn't come from the NFL.
Let's say 10 so we feel good. Because, we billionaires, we don't like to lose.
Whatever, man. It is what it is, man. Cap reported got 10 mil. Cap and Reed. That's what it is.
Again, I feel like 10 still.
I'm unamused. I know it ain't true. NFL can't.
It doesn't bother me either way. It doesn't.
You can't
bother
fool me.
That's $10 million more than either one of those two brothers had.
NFL, you can't fool me. Cap got that bag. Y'all lost. Nanny boo boo. Next topic.
Next topic, Mayweather. This should be very, very quick.
Yeah.
Because
and this was submitted by a fan of ours. We'll call him can we call him a fan? A listener.
Let's say supporter.
A supporter.
My man Champ wanted to hear our.
Damn, you ain't have to tell him who it was, man. We could have.
They don't know who that is.
We talk about Champ every episode.
I mean, they don't know.
They know that's the homie, but he
they don't know the government.
He fucked with the podcast though, man. So yeah.
But he submitted. He wanted to hear about Mayweather taking back $3 million worth of jewels from his ex-fiance.
Mayweather took back his shit.
Yeah.
And specifically, what Champ was asking is our take on that. How do we feel about that? Do we feel like a man should be able to take back his things should the relationship not work out? And I think it was specific to a fiance, not like a wife. I think it's.
I saw a wife, but either way, it doesn't really matter.
Let me double check. I could be wrong. I've been sipping.
It doesn't really matter.
I've been sipping the Armageddon
because
or whatever.
It is Armageddon. I think So I feel like he shouldn't have done it. I feel like if you're gonna give gifts, that's what it is. It's a gift.
But
I feel like there are some caveats to that, maybe. And the maybe is perhaps engagement rings. But other than that, but even that's sort of like, I don't know if you really want to do that. Like, I'm trying to think, if I was in that situation, would I take back the ring? I don't know. I probably wouldn't want to think about it, especially if I already paid for it. If it's done, yeah.
You nice.
No, I mean, the thing about it is, like I said, if we're talking about from our perspective, we're talking different. I'm talking about from a Mayweather. Mayweather is supposedly Money Mayweather. You know, the richest athlete ever.
He's also retired.
Why are you going out there? I mean, shit, dude, it don't matter, man. At that
because
time,
he retired. That was he ain't making 300 M's to fight a chump.
From my understanding, that was like 2 years ago.
I'm sorry, Manny. You're not a chump.
That was 2 years ago. So, you know, he was still in the midst of making money. Like,
yeah, he had one other fight. Then he announced his retirement. Then he came back and fought somebody else. Ain't that how it went?
It's $2 million, dude. Almost $3 million, dude. I mean, dude.
Yeah, but what's all right? So I could probably argue this at a much more technical level because I think Mayweather's got a ridiculous overhead. So if you're talking 300 M's,
whose fault is that?
I mean, I don't. That matters not. It matters not. If you so this is how I always explain things to people, right? When like my younger cousins and all that, and they ask me about money and shit. And just anybody in general, really. You make $1 million, you spend $1 million. Are you a millionaire?
Nope.
Okay. So if you got a crazy overhead like he does, he's got, over $10 million worth of cars. He says he owns everything, and that's commendable, right? But if you're owning these jets, these $50 million G3s, G4s, G5s, all this shit, right? Mm-hmm. You own all these properties and all this stuff. That's really expensive overhead. Have you ever looked at the upkeep on some of these properties out in Palm Beach?
I gotta say, dude, whose fault is that?
It's nobody's fault, but I'm just saying
it's his fault. You got that. So I don't know.
All right. So what I meant to say was like that's irrelevant to my point. My point is that just because he made $300 million a fight does not mean he is incapable of going bankrupt.
No.
So if I
think Tyson taught us you can.
Yeah, word to Tyson. So if I gave you $3 million worth of jewelry, which is an accessory to add to an outfit or a gown or something like that, these are not necessity items.
Nope.
We split up. Yeah, I want that back. I want that bite. I want all of that. And I'm petty. I'm checking it for scratches, for loose jewels, everything. Everything. Now, there is a caveat to my stance.
What's your caveat?
The caveat is you mentioned engagement ring, right?
Mm-hmm.
An engagement ring. I guess that would make you my fiance. Ken said your girl, fiance, wife. Newsflash, I still call my wife my girl.
Mm-hmm.
I get corrected by women every time I say my girl.
Yeah,
because I'm married.
Sure you do.
Right? But she's still my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Fiance, if we never make it to marriage status, give me that ring back.
And I'm not saying. So when you say give that ring back, you talking about the engagement ring?
Yes, I want the engagement ring back.
So I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
I'm just saying like I can see how, but like anything like if you gave a gift.
But that was part of my caveat, which is that I can't separate my bias from what I already know. I already know legally that if you give something as a gift, you can't get that back.
Exactly. And I think that's
but that's me cheating the game. So I would never give something as a gift. I'd just be like, this is because we're engaged.
Did he specify that?
I mean, that's what Champ's text said.
I don't know if he specified.
I don't know if he did either. But this ain't about him. This is about my point. This is about my point. And my point is that knowing that if you give it as a gift, it resides with them, I would, and sorry, whatever, this makes me a piece of shit or whatever, $3 million worth of shit? Oh, yeah, I gave you this because you're my fiance. I'm not going to say, oh, happy birthday, this is a gift for you. No, my fiance deserves this here. You're my fiance, so I want you to have this nice thing.
But what I will say, I guess the caveat to this
hear that voice? Yeah.
I think the caveat that I would say is that if you leave the shit at my house or my domicile, and I guess that's a place that I pay for, hey, and I'm able to get in there and get that sucker, I mean, hey, you should have put that somewhere I couldn't get to.
I mean,
because obviously he was able to get to it. I don't think he took it off your person.
So he got it back. I didn't even look up the story. I just saw what was text to me.
I mean, I think he probably
he got it back. She can't afford it.
From the way what I read, I feel like it was like that. Like, I have a place. She was living there. I'm paying for it. I can get in it. He got in after they kind of separated on the men's, found the shit, grabbed it, and was out. That's what I feel like it. That's how I feel like it happened. Or maybe even, she was staying at his spot.
That shit sound like stealing to me, but okay.
But I have to say, like, if I'm paying for this apartment, I let a chick live here. She got her shit here. I paid for it.
Sounds like a gift to me. The domicile sounds like the gift. You can't break into the gift.
No, but if I have access to it, it's not like you told me I couldn't come in. Like, we were living together. This is our home.
I don't know. I think you moved the goalpost on me on that example. But
I think
so. If they were cohabitating, I'll say this.
I think that's kind of what it is, though. Because it's not like she's saying. Because I read a couple of articles. Now they didn't go really in too deep, but the way that they're reporting is basically he was able to get to it and take it. And it wasn't like he went to her and took, like me coming to you and take that watch off your wrist.
Yeah, don't do that.
I wouldn't do that, dude. You my dog. You my dog.
I keep that thing on me.
You my dog.
Keep that thing on me.
You my dog.
You know what I'm saying? In the trap set.
I know. I saw the Mossberg.
Shout out to the trap set. Hey man, don't tell him what. You know what I'm saying?
You
shot it. What you mean you saw it? You shot it.
We got plenty others.
You shot it, man. Yeah. But I mean, that's just me, man. Like if it's an engagement ring, anything like that, I want it back. If you give them a gift, then it's a gift. They get to keep it. So you lose.
And I'm pretty sure that, and it's really one item. I think the ring was like 2 point something.
Yeah, you crazy. See, how you gonna upgrade a 2 something ring?
You know what I'm
saying? That's
another
discussion.
I don't even think that was the engagement ring.
Floyd, you started way too high, my boy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You can't upgrade that.
Fault.
It's gonna be $10 million to upgrade that thing.
I started it by saying it sounds like his problem, but I don't.
He been hitting the head a lot, so I get it.
Man.
He been hitting the head a lot. I get it.
But
I get it. Floyd, but clearly, Floyd wanted them $3 million back. So
he was being punitive.
Keep being that millionaire that just believes in burning money and all that, Floyd.
And to be quite honest with you, baby, I appreciate it. I appreciate your pettiness, man. Because I don't know, man.
I don't think that's pettiness. I think that's necessity. He needs it.
But I feel like, if this, like I said, if this was a situation in which, like, I'm paying for this spot, we are cohabitating, ish.
I got you, but you moved that. You changed that.
I have, because the only reason I say
the
that
scenario.
No,
all right, so wait.
So
let's do it this way. So let's do scenario by scenario, right? Instead of
if he had to break into the house,
instead of the thing changing, instead of scenario changing. Let's say this: you're engaged, you live together.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You're engaged and you live together, but then y'all break up. Do you want your shit back or no?
I'm saying I probably wouldn't be that punitive, other than again the engagement ring, because that's.
Okay, so you want the ring back.
But other than that, like other gifts, I wouldn't be punitive. Like, you see that telephone, I want that. You see this TV, I want that.
I don't feel like he ain't going to grab that. The thing was about jewelry.
Like, no, I'm not going to be like that. But these type of things in that type of relationship is sort of like that.
You're Floyd Mayweather.
No.
You're cohabitating. Y'all break up.
No.
Are you taking it back?
No.
Okay.
Maybe engagement ring. But the rest of the stuff, because
you're so shifty, man.
No,
are you a lawyer?
Like, the engagement ring is a symbol of our engagement,
union,
union. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with.
I have the right to get that back. But like, if I gave you some platinum Rolex and some Louis Vuitton this and this, that, and the third, you know what I'm saying? Like some $500,000 this, that, and the third. That was a gift.
All right,
my nigga.
Okay, you're engaged.
And that's a no.
You're engaged. You bought her a spot because you paid for it, right? Y'all break up. You taking all this back? You going in the house and taking all that back?
No.
Because if you go in that house.
I put it like this. It depends on who the house name is. Is my name on the fucking on the title?
Ivy Joe, ladies and gentlemen, Esquire.
I'm just saying, like,
Ivy Joe Esquire.
Women, be smart. Get your name on the title, baby.
Esquire. I don't think that matters. If you gave it to him.
No, I think it does.
I think from a legal standpoint, that's what the legality is going to be. And it's also going to come down to, do you have a key? Right? You're going to have to prove that this is, in fact, your spot. Because you can buy something for somebody and you not live there. Plenty of people buy their mama a house, but they can't just go in the house and take everything about it because, right?
I'm pretty sure they put their name in their mom's name as well.
I don't know. If they financing it, their mom ain't on it, then they gave their mom a house. But I think if you give me a car, you can't, that don't give you the right to fucking come and just grab it out the parking lot because, hey, I was in the area, man, I need to slide somewhere real quick. I came and scooped it. No, motherfucker, you gave it to me. This is my car. Don't touch my shit.
I guess again, we're talking about the legalities again. If that car is in someone else's name, they can come get that bitch whenever they want. Get your name on the titles. If you can. I'm not arguing with you that that's fucked up. They do it.
We're not going to agree on this. So we're going to say, okay, we agree to disagree to a few things on this. I think that if you gave it to him as a gift, you can't come and get that back.
So, because
I don't care if you live there or not. If you gave it to them, it is
theirs. Let's just say there is and you can probably figure this out. There's a record label that used to be very big, that was in my neck of the woods while I was in
either Cash Money or No Limit.
Again, you'll be able to figure it out. From my neck of the woods when I was in high school. I'm not going to put in names.
Was it 1999? Because if so, but it was Money.
It was definitely in my high school to college range.
The laugh. I'm laughing at that.
Definitely in the high school to college range. And let's just say they had a propensity of buying cars for people. And let's just say whenever they fell out of favor, those cars were no longer theirs. They went and got them motherfuckers.
Well, you from the BR, which nobody in Cash Money is from Baton Rouge. So
but,
it's either Boosie and them.
So let's just say I'm pretty sure that legally these motherfuckers, if it's not in your name, they can come get it. Especially if it's mine. Like, let's say, for instance, it's in my name,
but
and I say you can live in it. I can kick your ass out whenever I want to.
Yeah, but that changes between the two. That's what I'm saying. Like a car, you buy somebody a Civic or something like that. Like, yeah, hey, I bought this for you. Here, put your name on the title, all that, right? Okay.
Once you put your name on the title, it's yours.
But a house is different. A house is fucking different. Like, okay, this is
you
what
may have squatters' rights.
This is what I mean.
Rights.
This is what I mean by a house is different because niggas ain't buying houses cash. Some people might, but a lot of people not. Right? A car, let me finish. A car, I don't think that everybody out here saying I bought my mom a house is buying the house cash. I don't think all these celebrities, I don't think Rick Ross's house in Georgia, the mansion he bought from Holyfield, is paid off.
No.
Right? He has a mortgage. Nope. So when Rick Ross buys his mom a house, he has a mortgage for his mom's house. Right? That's different. A $20,000 car, I definitely think a celebrity can buy a $20,000 car and keep their name on the title. Yep. I mean, and not take their name off the title. Now, if they bought it and say, hey, I bought you a car, but didn't pay it off, which all these guys are businessmen. So I don't think they're paying for these things. I think, yeah, they'll finance it and say, hey, I got you a car for that very reason, because these are savvy businessmen, right? So I don't think in this situation, I don't think the young lady's name was on anything. Nope. I don't, right? So from a legal standpoint, and plus these guys have $1 million lawyers advising them. So I don't think that any of this is going to fall in the favor, or it's not going to fall in the realm of what would happen to a commoner, to a common person, which is, hey, I bought you this, put it in your name and do all this. And then, oh, well, I paid for that. I come and got it, but it's in her name. Yeah. So I don't think any of that is happening in Mayweather's situation. So, but to go back to removing Mayweather and his celebrity, which is what Champ asked, do you think it's right to take stuff back if it don't work out? If it's a gift, no. If it's not a gift, if it's something that was a symbol of our bond, our union, and we split, give me my shit back. Into that. That's that. That's it.
Well,
and here's my reason why. Because a woman could potentially make a career. I'm tripping. Not a career, wrong choice of words, but a come up, right? Because it's like, okay, you ain't out here getting proposed to
that's what that
on a
was.
monthly basis.
That $3 million was a come up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But even if it wasn't a $3 million come up, even if it was only a $5,000 ring or a $10,000, I know friends that bought $20,000 rings. Mm-hmm. If we split, you just made a $20,000 come up, right? As a result of us breaking it off. Like, that's a reward for a failure.
Hell, what's her name? Mariah Carey got $5 million for wasting her time, huh?
But she was married though.
No.
Who?
She got she got $5 million from a billionaire for wasting her time.
Fuck that. You see what Meek did? Oh, a billionaire. That's like saying I lost $5. Hey, bitch, keep the $5. I don't care. Hey, but you see what Meek did to Nicki? What? Allegedly, he got them fucking rings back.
Really?
So he didn't go and get it, but coincidentally, after they broke up, someone broke into her house and removed all of the jewelry that was once gifted to her. So Meek didn't do it, right? Meek didn't do it.
I see.
Allegedly, Meek didn't do it. That alleged was for your comment. Meek didn't do it. But what Kanan said in Power?
That nigga did it.
He did that shit. Hold on, she got how much sitting on the finger? Yeah, hey, look, my boys, look, here go the address right here. I'm gonna crumble this on the back of the fortune cookie, drop that. This never happened. I was never here. But yeah, I need y'all to get all that back. It's in the safe. Here's the combination. Thank you.
Yeah, but
50 racks.
But I would say, and I guess, you kind of whittled down to outside of what I was gonna say, but we were talking about Mayweather. We weren't talking about regular people.
Well,
Mayweather, I can see him paying cash for a home or an apartment or a condo. I can see him doing that.
But that ties back into what I was saying is that him doing all this shit, he's got a high overhead. So I could also see him saying, give me my $3 million back.
Hey man, it is what it is. But I still feel like that was a gift. You gifted that.
Yeah.
But again, my caveat to all that is this: if you're living in a place that he has access to, and y'all about to break up, y'all on thin ice, you may want to put away some shit that was gifted.
Security deposit box
Yes.
at the bank.
You know what I'm saying? You
In
may want to
your
be
name.
smart about this shit.
In your
Because
name.
the thing about it,
only.
if she'd have done that, there's nothing he could do about it. But threaten. And then at that point, that's illegal.
For those that don't know, security deposit
Her
box at
biggest
the bank.
mistake was not reading the tea leaves.
Ivy don't want y'all to hear this information.
We talking the same now. Not reading the tea leaves and being like, you know what
the
I
hell
want
does
to
that
keep
mean?
this stuff. Reading the tea leaves, knowing what's coming.
I drink tea leaves. I don't read them.
Hey, but that's the same.
That's gonna be the drink of the week.
Read the tea leaves that, hey, this is coming.
Lipton
So
black
I
tea.
need to start to prepare for life without Mayweather. Or at least in this case, life with Nelly. You know what? This nigga may actually come back and try to get this shit. Let me put this shit somewhere else.
I don't think Mayweather gonna swing on Nelly. He got stolen on by T.I. I don't think he wants Nelly a bigger dude, man.
Hey, man,
Nelly
that is
actually
what
got
it is.
some muscle behind his punches, you know.
Really?
And apparently, that was the longest yard. He was pretty fast in that movie.
Yeah. He's athletic.
But
You know, at the end of the day, man, I really don't have an issue with anything other than engagement rings.
okay. Noted. By some of the ladies out there. Noted by your female suitors. Let's
That's it. Next up on the docket, we're going to get into the Michael Avenatti saga.
This will be quick.
I bet it will.
Illuminati.
Well, so for those that don't know, Michael is Stormy Daniels' lawyer. He came to fame from the Trump lawsuit, trying to get her out of NDA. Apparently, over the last 3 weeks or so, he's been working with another lawyer type to secure funding for a client, to put it mildly.
Enjoying this board, man.
And let's just say sometime over the last 3 days, I guess that was Tuesday,
Okay.
he was arrested for blackmail, right?
Shit, I don't know. I never heard of Avenatti.
Blackmail.
I ain't been paying attention to him. What's it?
Thought you knew
Do
about
we got a
that.
boo? Do we got a boo?
No, not yet.
All right, give him the wham, wham, wham.
That's what you get, Mike. Mike A. Is it A?
Michael Avenatti.
Okay. Don't give me that look like, yeah, it was pretty it was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was bad. That was bad. At any rate, he was arrested for trying to get secure funding. He was being very obnoxious with Nike. Apparently, the person that he was working for wanted basically $1 million.
Okay.
And Michael said, bump that. I'm going to need 20 to 25. And
Who's he working for?
Some coach, man. It was a coach that apparently, what's the guy that got drafted by Phoenix?
Booker?
No. This last year.
Oh shit, I don't know.
He signed with Puma.
I don't know. Well,
Go ahead.
I guess what I was asking that because I always confuse which of these lawyers is which. I don't know either one of them. But okay, so Avenatti is the one who with the AAU coach. Okay, all right, keep going.
And for all intents and purposes, I guess my biggest take on this is just, isn't this what lawyers do? I mean, they kind of play in the gray.
No.
I mean, I like this. How often do you hear of lawyers going to someone with money saying, "Do you want this to go away?"
Depends. You talking in the movies or you talking in the real world? In the
real world it happens a lot, man. Make it go away.
In the real world, never.
Go away. I want it to go away.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what this is a case of, from what I understand. Right?
So what do you think of it?
From what I read is that
I thought you said you didn't know nothing.
I don't know who Avenatti is. I never saw that name.
Okay.
I never saw that name. The name I saw was like Gregos or something like that.
All right, go ahead.
But the story that I saw was that, okay, there's a AAU team who apparently Nike was paying them even though they weren't, like, it wasn't during the season. It's like Nike was continuing to play these AAU team for some reason, even though, like, it's a sponsorship, right?
Yeah,
You sponsor them during the season or something like that, however it's structured. But after that's done, they shouldn't be receiving any payments from you.
So I guess my only caveat to this is this: if this is something that is there are like this is like a institution, like this team is going to be here every year upon year, and we go into a deal with you and say we're going to sponsor you for the next 5 years.
But
then I can space those payments out over 12 months. That's all I'm saying.
You keep taking legal stances with all this.
That's what we're supposed to do.
No, you're moving the goalposts for the discussion.
No.
I can't have the discussion if you move the goalposts.
Because you just said it. So if, let's say, for instance, it's $20,000. Now, granted, a lot of times these are more like $100,000 deals. But let's just say I say I'm going to sponsor you $20,000. And if I'm only going to do it during the season, we're talking about, let's say, maybe April through June or April through August.
Sure.
And now I got to pay that $20,000 between that time frame, or which is what 6-7 months, or I have the option of paying it over 12 months. I'd rather pay it over 12 months.
But we don't know if that's what they're doing, and the way that it's
sure
worded,
that's what it was.
This wouldn't be a case if that's what they were doing. It'll
still be a case.
Nobody would have a problem with you making prorated payments.
I think it's still no. The problem I think with this is he feels like they fired him and they didn't finish paying him. And that's what, and he has some dirt on him.
Maybe. So back to what
I he just feels like he shouldn't have got fired.
What I read, and I'm not well versed on this because I didn't even know who Avenatti was. I didn't know that was even tied to this, right? I just kind of heard this story and was just like, okay, so they caught him doing some. He tried to get over on them, and now it's backfiring on him.
Yeah. But that's essentially what happened.
Was that you had a sponsor, or for some reason Nike sponsors these teams during the season. Season's not going on. There ain't no reason to sponsor you because you're not playing no games. There ain't no. What are you doing, right? There's no games. There's nothing for people to see. There's no marketing for Nike. Is what I got out of it. So now it's like you're giving them this. You're patting their pockets so they don't go anywhere else.
But that's what they're doing.
Okay, so I get that. That's how I interpreted this when I read it. So then it's like the guy tells the lawyer that, like, hey, they're still paying these dudes even though season's not going on. No. There's nothing going on. Hold on. Let me finish. So then the lawyer gets wind of this, that Nike is giving people this money under the table where other teams aren't getting the money, right? So the lawyer, the one coach or whoever brings it up and says, well, we're not getting this money, so these guys shouldn't be getting it. Mm-hmm. And the lawyer, knowing that this breaches some kind of, some kind of ethics probably, or contract maybe, right? Is that in the offseason you can't be patting these boys, because who knows what the hell they're getting out of it. Now the lawyer goes and says, hey, I know you're giving this team money, additional funding. No. So, okay. I'm just telling you what I heard. I'm not arguing anything. So the lawyer goes to Nike and says, I know for a fact that you've been giving this other team funding against whatever ethics or rules or whatever. To keep me quiet, I want this much money. Which at that point is extortion. Or blackmail. Mm-hmm. Right? Which I think blackmail is extortion.
And that's why I just feel like he's just bad at this.
Like, which I don't think all lawyers do. Which you said, like, don't you always hear about this? No, I never hear about that in real life.
I feel like there is a better way of doing this. That I can come to you, I can let you handle this, or we can get the courts involved. How do you want to handle this? But I think the couple things you said, I don't think is correct. So from my understanding is, the coach got fired.
Okay.
Or contract was canceled, something to that amount, to that
effect.
Thank you. He was sour. So he was like, look, I have information that DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 pick from last year, got a bag last year from Nike. You know, the big thing right now is the Adidas thing, which is why ESPN is hating on LSU right now. But at any rate, and he wanted to use that as a meme.
Did y'all lose yet? I'd be so glad when y'all lose.
No, we play tonight, 7 o'clock.
I'll be glad when y'all lose.
Michigan State, baby.
I'll be glad when y'all lose tonight.
Hey, man, what? I was pulling for y'all, man.
Come join us on the Pine.
I was pulling for you, baby. I thought you was gonna win.
And we pulling for you right now to come sit next to us on this Pine. Let's go. That's UCF, by the way, University of Central Florida. 2017 and 2018 national champs NCAA football. Thank you.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
You heard me. You heard me. You can fuck about that sound.
Whatever. But at any rate,
Ask Auburn.
At any rate, he knows. He knows that he said basically he's saying that Nike paid Aiden, but I guess the one caveat to that is he ended up going with Puma, and they were going to use that information to get some money. He was asking for essentially $1 million. Then Avenatti decided, in his infinite wisdom, to ask for 2025, that he would be guaranteed. And it would be under the guise of him doing the investigation of, internal investigation of Nike of whether or not they're doing this or not. And he also has some wording. I'm like, man, this dude's not really good at this shit. But he essentially, on record, on video, said, if you decide to go with someone, I still want to get paid double what they make. Like, yo, this nigga.
He wants his money.
This nigga is. And then, the funny thing about it, after he got arrested, then all of a sudden, all the naysayers come out the woodwork talking about he's been kind of shady for years. He's been dodging taxes, this, that, and the third.
Of course.
But, hey.
Media. It's like putting a microscope over your life.
It is what it is. I mean, it should have been done that, when he first came on the scene with Stormy. But, at any rate, I guess that goes into the narrative that, the news really don't like President Trump, or Agent 45, as we're going to call him, I think. Or at least I am.
I'm calling 45. I ain't even giving him the agent title. No titles, just 45.
But
but he also got Gregoros or whoever.
Yeah, what's his name?
Drug into this. Drug.
Goragos.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah. So now he's got drug into it. Who he was Jesse Smollett's.
And I believe he was Kaepernick's as well.
That's right. So, I mean, birds of a feather.
I think at the end of the day, I feel like in this case,
using
Mark,
euphemisms.
I think in this case, Mark is the snitch, because Michael was actually arrested at his office, and I believe.
All right, so just so we're clear, Mike was arrested at Mark's office.
Yes.
Okay.
Jussie and Kaepernick's lawyer's office.
Mark. Yep.
And
so once again,
he wasn't arrested.
So once again, the optics with the NFL. Cap's lawyer facing this, Cap 10, it doesn't look like Cap 1. I digress. Okay, back to this story. Just how I'm just like to say how everything is tied together.
A win is a win.
They are tethered. They are tethered.
A win is a win.
Like Jordan Peele's movie. Did you see that movie, Us?
No, I did not see that.
Okay. Are we done with this?
What?
Avenatti.
I mean,
he's a crooked lawyer, man. There's nothing. It is what it is, man. He saw an opportunity to shake a $1 billion company down, and they pushed back.
I guess the only thing I find interesting is I feel like, and I guess you're saying that's not true, but I feel like lawyers deal in this kind of environment.
I'm not saying it's not
more
true.
often than not, and I'm just wondering, where did he go awry? I mean, was he too straightforward about it, or what? I don't know. I wish I would have had my homeboy call in. We could have We would definitely start working on these.
So I'm not saying it's not true. I'm saying that if you ask me if I hear all these headings about lawyers being crooked in the real world, the answer is no. Now, if you're talking Scandal or House of Cards or 24, what shows like this, yes, they play that trope like it's every lawyer, like Call Saul, Breaking Bad. They play that trope, and maybe that's where they're getting it from because lawyers are crooked. I mean, they know the law. The guy that I was in a business venture with that ended poorly was in law school at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like do I think bad lawyers exist? Yes. Yeah. Do I think crooked lawyers exist? Yes. There's a crooked person in every field. Yes. That's without a shadow of a doubt. But do I think that this is happening more often than not? No. I think this is one bad apple in the barrel, right? And the bad apple doesn't spoil the barrel.
I think you know what? Now that I think about it, now I'm starting to think about it myself. I think what could have happened, I guess could have made this, I guess, a little more above board if he would have actually brought a lawsuit. And then be like, hey, if you want to, you can come by the office. We can talk about it.
Yeah. But
maybe that's what he was supposed to do, but he was just like being lazy. And anyway, I guess we've had enough on Micah Avenatti.
Yeah, man.
He's not really nothing that. It's just more or less, it was kind of a hot topic for the week. We touched it.
I was at a family barbecue. I didn't touch nothing.
Is that right?
I'm a married man. I didn't touch nothing.
Oh, you're a married man.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't touch nothing. You see my hand. I ain't touched nothing. Nothing. No rumors out there of me touching nothing.
All right. Well, up next is your girl.
Cardi B. Nah, let's start with Sia.
Are we going to start with Sia?
Yeah, let's start with Amanda Sia. And there's a reason I want to start with her because I think it kind of ties into the Cardi B topic a little bit, but it also, that discussion happened first in the week for me. So
okay. So
I had about a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour long instant message discussion.
Wow.
Yeah, just typing away with a friend who shall remain nameless. Champ. That damn Champ, right? On this Amanda Seals and Myron, whatever.
So what do you have to say?
Topic. Champ is no pun intended, championing men in this instance, okay. Right? He's defending men, and he's in which I'm a man, so I'm all for it, right? And that's why I told you, like, our discussion was 2 hours long. Spoiler alert, our discussion was 2 hours long, and at the very end, Champ sends me an instant message that says, yo, bro, had to read what you just said to make sure I didn't type that myself. And what I mean by that is that we ended in agreement. But I feel my stance was consistent the entire argument or debate. But Champ didn't see so until I guess I finally explained it in a way to which he got the gist of what I was saying. Yeah. But his problem with it is that Amanda Seals has been doing, she did a little press run for her HBO special, and shout out to her, right?
Shout out to her.
And this discussion
I'll be going to see her this weekend.
Yeah, there you go. This discussion is taking nothing away from her, right? So this discussion isn't saying Amanda Seals is the scum of the earth, right? But what it is that it's holding her accountable, and it's holding this Myron guy accountable. So I guess to Champ's point, he didn't feel like Myron did anything wrong, right? And I don't know if he did or didn't. All I know is Amanda's testimonies that she's been sharing, right? Mm-hmm. And Champ feels that like what she's doing is irresponsible. It's going on a press run and spreading rumors, basically, right? Possibly they're allegations is what they are, right? They haven't been proven true. They haven't been proven false, but she's doing it, protecting the women who have been, sharing their stories with her. Yeah. Right. She hasn't announced any of these women. She just keeps saying that more women are coming. More women are coming. The number's at 8. The number's at 16. Whatever. Right. So Champ had an issue with that. He took an issue with that and said that, like, as a young black successful man, right, the mere fact that a woman could just share a story and it ruin your career, your reputation, everything isn't fair. And he feels like, this has been going. He was taking it back like this has been going on since like the inception of America. And I'm like, bro, okay, maybe, but I think you're reaching with this, right?
You're reaching.
I think you're reaching, right? I'm not gonna say Amanda Seales.
Reaching. Definitely reaching.
Oh, that's the sound for reaching?
Yeah, that's harps.
Okay. I'm not gonna say Amanda Seales is the fucking, the racist founders of the country, right? The founding fathers or whatever.
No.
Now, so what I was saying to Champ is that I do agree that what she's doing is irresponsible, and I don't agree with the way she went about airing this guy out, right?
Okay.
Especially, I was fine with it when she was like, when he was anonymous.
Yeah.
But once you start naming who the guy is and saying, well, more women came to me and this and that, so I felt, and this is what I told Champ. I said, I guarantee, I said, Amanda Seales is a voice for women who don't speak up, right? She's that's her platform in essence, right? Her HBO special, the skits she does, the topics she talks about, right? She's taking a stand for things that women complain about and have been, and I say complain, I don't mean to make that sound like nagging, right? But I mean, these are valid complaints and valid, to her, valid perspectives that aren't being represented because women are, for whatever reason, not voicing those perspectives, right? Mm-hmm. But she has the wit, the platform, right? The comedic ability, the ability to articulate it. Mm-hmm. So she's carrying this burden for these women who she is fighting for, or who she believes she is standing up for. That's how I see her. I'm not gonna say how Champ sees her, but the perception I got of him was that it was a defensive one, and that all he could see is that she came at a man, so she's completely against men, right? And he sent me a couple of things, and the few like videos and things he sent me were all more or less attacking her character, and just saying like she's constantly berating black men. She's berating black men. She's taking shots at black men, taking shots at black men. Not one of those things that he sent me were saying like she may have a point.
Yeah.
But it's going about it the wrong way, which is what I said to Champ with her, this whole thing. Right. And then I'll get to your take, because I know I've been kind of on the soapbox here, is that I have an issue with how she presented the information, but I do not think her information is invalid. Yeah. Right? That's all I'm saying. And Champ, and he also had if our overarching argument was what I just said, was like he doesn't think that she should be allowed to do that. There were like sub arguments, and the sub argument was he kept saying she doesn't have empirical evidence, and she says she doesn't have empirical proof. Right? So to my point, I was talking with Champ, and I said, well, okay, so, and I'm doing kind of what I said, accused you of earlier, is taking like a legal stance. I said, well, proof and evidence I say those mean two different things.
Yes.
When you say proof, that means that it is tied to a fact. Mm-hmm. When you say evidence or allegation,
you have it.
That to me means that this has been presented but hasn't been associated with the truth yet. It's just you made a claim, right? Mm-hmm. Because a testimony is evidence. So he kept saying, well, she said she didn't have empirical evidence. So I literally sent him the definition of empirical evidence. And I said, well, you would never have empirical evidence from a rape.
You had to be an asshole.
I wasn't trying to be an asshole, because if his whole argument was based on that phrase, empirical evidence, right? Which it seemed to be. Yeah. Empirical evidence is data. It's data. We measured something. And I said, you will never get empirical evidence from a rape or from a sexual assault, right? In this form, right? If you get a rape kit, then yes, you get data. You get things of that can be measured. But people have been raped and never said anything. That doesn't mean that the guy didn't rape him. Yeah. Is what I was getting at. Is that a story is still a testimony still has to be taken into account. Mm-hmm. So he felt that I was just taking what Amanda Seales said and said like he did something. Well, And I wasn't. And just let me get through this. I know it's a long rant and everything. I'm gonna unpack all of this, and then we can actually have a discussion more than this monologue, right? Or recap of me and Champ's argument. But that's not what I was doing. What I was doing was trying to, because there's no facts in this case. I haven't been presenting any facts. It's not even the case, right? It's just he say, she say. So I said, okay, I heard Amanda Seales' part, right? And based on her account, I also heard what Myron said or whatever, what he tweeted and, what's out in the media. And I said, and based on what I hear, what I think this is a case of is he's a fucking, pediatric surgeon of some sort. I think neurosurgeon. Yeah, right? So I said, what I think this is, Champ, is a case of he's a young, successful, he's in shape, so he's not like a blob or a slob. Mm-hmm. Young, black, in shape, successful, relatively successful black man.
Because he was a Rhodes Scholar and everything.
Yeah, all that, right? All the accolades that come with it. Played for FSU, and I think
played a couple years
in NFL, right? So he's got the accolades, right?
He was drafted.
So what he is to me, and to what I think to America, not to me, but to what I think he is to America,
and what he probably should be to our community.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at, right? I don't mean what he is to me, right? Because what I'm about to say, that would have been a pause moment, basically. But what he is to our community, right, is a fucking unicorn.
Yes.
Right? So he's one of these guys that appears to have it all going.
Yes.
And being a black man, and this is what I told Champ, like, I don't know what happened between them. I said, but I know how I felt as a mechanical engineer graduate with a full-time job and benefits.
Yeah.
I know how women treated me, right? How black women especially treated me as I was this rarity, right? And in that situation, this is me being a little bit vulnerable, right? But I know that, like, some of them were willing to go a bit further with me a bit quicker, right? Because of how they perceive me. So what I told Champ was he probably got used to your average Joe woman thinking that, like, he's a catch, so I should probably give him everything rather quickly, right? Yes. And then you court a woman like Amanda Seales who might not see you on the same level as them.
Or let's just be frank, probably those 16 women.
Or the 16 women, correct, right? Which who I'm saying is like equivalent or at the same.
Yeah, like, I deserve better.
Or maybe not even at the same level as them, but they were willing to, some of them clearly were willing to allow things to proceed, right? But in the case of Amanda Seales,
perhaps,
perhaps, alleged, whatever. But what I told him in the case of Amanda Seales is that this is how he's been operating, and it's might have been allowed.
And he got away with it.
It's a behavior that was acceptable to a different set of women, to a different group of women. I said, but then you meet a woman who says that this is not acceptable. This isn't how I want to be courted.
This is not how you should be courting people, truthfully.
To her?
I think.
To her. But that's what I'm getting at, is that it's to her. To her. Now, I don't know what, without knowing what he did. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know what he did. Right? All I know is allegedly.
Well, I guess I could just to jump in real quick. I don't think he did anything to her per se, other than be just kind of
forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or what she called pressed. But it was the other women that came to her and was like, she felt like something was off, and then they kind of confirmed it.
Okay. And I'm not saying
with
that
their experience.
And I'm not saying that what he did was wrong. I'm saying that if you have,
I think it's at least questionable.
But all right, so let me just get to the point. The point is that if a woman walks in here right now and does something to me, and I laugh and joke about it and say that it's okay, she might do it to you, and you might be offended by it. Is that to say that he's wrong because you were offended, but it was acceptable to me? Some people think one night stands. Some people take offense to you even suggesting a one-night stands to them. But because I did that, maybe we were vibing, and maybe I vibe with a previous woman the same way. And when I said, hey, we should take this back to the room, and she thought that was cool.
So,
you get what I'm saying? Like, it could be perfectly acceptable behavior, but because you took offense to it,
now you're blowing up.
So there's two things I guess I want to say. Well, for one, the male body isn't appreciated or, put up like a woman's body. Like, a woman's body is kind of like a work of art, whereas
they bleep out our penises and
Yes.
everything. They don't even show our penises in rated R movies.
So in that instance, we know that
Hollywood,
a man
stop discriminating.
on one like
Wait, cut that. That's an edit point.
on one. Whereas
Hold on.
go ahead.
That's an edit point if I ever heard one. What the fuck am I arguing right now?
I don't know.
Equality, that just as many penises be showed as breasts? Oh, I'm tripping. Hollywood, redact that. That should be sealed in the case files. Yeah, edit that, man. Edit that out, please.
But I guess with all that said, a man's body, a naked body, is viewed aggressively, like something to be scared of. Whereas a woman's body is more or less to be praised and and from my understanding.
Wait. Before you move on, can I just okay? So I disagree with that. I think both are censored, right? I just think that there is a movement to appreciate the woman's body and not a movement to appreciate the male's body. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair statement.
Well,
that you have some groups saying that women shouldn't be ashamed of their breasts. Men walk around with their shirts off. Women aren't allowed to do
and
this.
I agree with that.
Right?
I agree with that.
I too agree with that. Don't edit this out. I'm gonna actually edit that. I'm a married man. Damn, I'm rusty, man. I've been gone for 3 weeks, man. But I just think that us as men, we don't really stand up for we haven't had to stand up for our rights because, as James Brown said, this is a man's world. And I'm not saying that in agreement with him. I'm just saying that it's a patriarchal society, right? So we are in a perceived position of power. So we don't have to say we should be allowed to wear our shirts because we just fucking do it and we don't
Facts.
argue it, right? Whereas a woman does it, and there's probably a man somewhere saying she should cover up. That's indecent, right? That's a patriarchal rules. Those are rules in a patriarchal society deeming that a woman shouldn't be allowed to show her breast, whereas a man can. So men don't have to defend ourselves because we are in a position of power with that, whereas women, which men are still saying don't show your penis, like I don't want to see that, right? Whereas women
You sure
are
about that?
Ivy Joe, ladies and gentlemen. I should have been a bajooch. There you go. Whereas women are actively fighting against that stigma that like they should have to cover up. Men aren't fighting that we shouldn't have to cover up. I in fact are fighting that we should have to cover up based on the locker room at the job. Cover up.
So I guess I, to a certain degree, disagree. At least from the perspective that, a woman's body is more viewed as more of a luxurious and more, I guess, nurturing, whereas a man's body is more or less like aggressive, probably because in the act of intercourse, we actually are doing the penetration. I guess typically.
I think that's
and in
I
saying
think your
that,
take might get you in more trouble than my take.
I don't know.
Because what you're saying is from the perspective of a man.
No, it could be, but at the same time, I feel like a woman's body is to be cherished, whereas a man's body really isn't.
But so that's what I'm saying is that to be cherished, some women would argue and say that what you call cherished, they call sexualized.
Probably, but at the same time,
But as a man,
but at the
we
same
say
time,
cherished.
but at the same time, and it's a double standard. At the same time, if a woman walking here naked, men don't have a problem with that. But on the flip side, typically, but on the flip side, if a man walk in a room full of women naked and they weren't expecting it, that could be they'll take that as he went too far. Whereas on the flip side, it wouldn't be like, oh, we saying, oh, she went too far.
That's because we're horn dogs.
It is what it is. But in this, and I bring that up because in a few of the situations, that's kind of what happened. You know, the chicks walk up to the room and open the door, and he butt ass naked.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. That allegedly. So I do know she did share that story, right? And that's what I told. And in that
instance, that's just I don't agree with that.
Okay. And be it
you could have put something on.
And that may be the case, right? But so I'm going to throw out the words that were used in our discussion, Champ and I's discussion, right? Deviant, right?
Yeah.
He called him a sexual deviant. And I said, I don't know that that's deviant. I think that
you pushing the lines.
I think that no.
That's definitely pushing the line.
I don't think that's deviant. I think that is.
It's on the line.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
I think that there is a spectrum of how forward and how direct you are, right? Mm-hmm. If you call somebody and say, "Yo, I think you should come over to the hotel room," let's just quit. Let's not play no games, right? You want me, I want you, and the woman is like, "Hear me out," because this is the context you're not getting from Amanda Seals' testimonies, which is why I didn't jump down on Myron and say he's absolutely guilty, he's absolutely wrong, because I know dudes. I'm back on it. I'm back on my square. I know dudes. I've heard stories from my friends of dudes who have met women that are just like, "Yo, let's skip the formalities. We all know why I'm here," right? And in that instance, this behavior is perfectly acceptable. It's acceptable because I told you what it was. You came over here, you see how I am, and maybe you never met a dude that was this forward, but you're okay with being this forward because I told you, and maybe you were calling my bluff, and now you're here and you see it, but it's like, okay, because he said it, right? Now, am I saying do this with everyone? No, right? And this was my caveat to Champ, and this is what Champ took offense with when I said it. I said, with Amanda Seals, I would say, there's a better way to handle this. The way you handle this is you got this man's number. You call this man. You don't air him out on radio shows. You don't go to Breakfast Club and air him out. You don't air him out.
She technically didn't do it on Breakfast Club.
She didn't do it on Breakfast Club. Well, she told the story there, and eventually it revealed his name. So, me and Champ were arguing, and he told me Breakfast Club, 4 million viewers a day, or however many million viewers, right? Yeah. So if you put 1 and 2 together, and you're a follower of Amanda Seals, you put 1 and 2 together, 4 million people know who this man is. So Amanda Seals, you don't air out his business like that, right? Especially if you don't have a personal account. If all you got is that this man told me that we should see each other, and then he switched it and told me I should come see him at his hotel and all that, and I don't like being courted that way, which is what I think her issue was. I don't want to be courted that way. Now on the flip side, Myron, what I told Champ is that he should move a little smarter.
True.
Right? Because every woman isn't that woman that's going to accept you being that forward and be the woman that's willing to, I'm going to come see you, and you're in a robe, and he might have just been shaving and got out the shower, but you answered the door naked, right? Some women might take offense to that. So you need to be able to tell which women thinks that's acceptable and which one thinks that is not. Because if you're going around here thinking that that's acceptable to every woman, you're going to get dinged with something.
Yes.
So it's not deviant. I wouldn't call it deviant, but it might be, you might be out there you might be pushing the limit of what would be considered deviant behavior.
As they would say, it's on the spectrum.
No, absolutely. Everything is though, right? And because it's if women are allowing it, right? If women are allowing it, then some women like it.
Yeah.
And some women don't. So he needs to be a better judge of character of which women like this.
I think what would cut through the chase is be more direct. I don't think he was more direct.
I think he is direct, but you need to. So.
Because if you were direct, they wouldn't come to the room.
No, not necessarily.
If
true.
you were direct,
not necessarily.
Like, hey, I feel like if he said what you said, let's stop being around the bush. Let's get, I think that type of language proceed something else. Like if it's just more like let's link up and let's actually meet up and go get something to eat, and you come to the door naked, that's different.
Okay, so in that context, I agree, but I'm not arguing that specific scenario. No. I'm trying to figure out, and okay, so I didn't say this part. So I'm trying to figure out in what world would a decent young black man do this, right? Because I'm not trying to believe Amanda Seales. I'm not disregarding her, but I'm not jumping to what she said as facts. Okay?
The thing about it I would say is I know niggas. See, I know jock type niggas can have that kind of young man mentality a little longer than you and I would have. And as a young man, the game was there was a couple games that I never really got around with playing. One of which was exactly, and one of which
give
was
yourself an applause for that. Actually,
like for instance, like saying "I love you" to consummate, so to speak. That I wouldn't do that. Whereas I know plenty of guys that did do that, and they knew it. It was the game. That was just a part of the game, and so it wouldn't surprise me if some nigga that even as educated as this brother is, he was able to get away with the bullshit so long because he was a jock, and there are those type of women.
Okay, I'm on board with you. Same thing I said.
So that's why when I hear that, it wouldn't shock me if he's still doing that because he's still getting he got away with it so long. Like if you get away with you're almost 30, and you know what I'm saying, why wouldn't he still be kind of doing that type of shit?
Okay, so you
as an early 30,
you were
30,
almost reiterating what I said to Champ, and my stance is that he's been getting away with it, right? And I don't even like saying getting away with it, right?
No, but that's what.
No. Because getting away with it implies like you're robbing the bank and you're doing something wrong. Well, and not to hold on, not to put this on the same playing field as your lying to women, telling them you love them to consummate, right?
No.
I don't believe that he is.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't believe, or I don't not believe, right? I don't have a dog in this race, so I don't care. But I'm trying to think of if he was innocent, how could that story be true? That's what I'm doing, right? On one instance, Amanda Seales is accusing him of being guilty, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that how could this be misconstrued and he be innocent? Uh-huh. And the only way I can think that can take place is because as a young college kid
and a pro
who had
athlete,
everything going for him,
and
right?
A pro athlete.
And not even a young college kid, as a pro athlete, right? As a 24-year-old black man, millionaire, neuroscientist.
Yep. Well, at least Rhodes Scholar.
Neurosurgeon,
Rhodes Scholar, professional athlete.
Okay, all of that, right? None of this is taken away from him.
He had to retire from football to go back to school.
So cool. None of this is making him less attractive.
No, I'm just putting it in perspective.
Right? Is that I think with all that going for you, women might be a little more lenient towards you, a little more forgiving with your directness. Which doesn't, he didn't commit sexual assault is what I'm getting at. He did, at least from what I understand, right? At least from his testimony, he didn't do that. What he did was consented to.
I don't know if I feel like this. If you come to the door naked and someone walk away, I don't know if that's consenting. I don't know if that's assault or anything, but I don't know.
What you're doing, you're not listening to the scenario. You're introducing another variable. No. I'm saying that I'm saying that if he did this and the woman accepted that and stayed.
Yeah. If she stayed, she accepted it.
In the instance
we ain't arguing about that.
So, but you're not getting the spectrum I'm painting. One spectrum, he's guilty, right? The woman comes over there, he's butt ass naked, and she's like, I didn't come over here for this shit, right? Mm-hmm. And she leaves. Yep. I'm not believing that story on its sole merit. I'm saying he said that he didn't do that, right? His account said I didn't court her the way she wanted to be courted. So what does that tell me? We both were young black successful men, engineers,
at one point in time, right? So what does that tell me? That tells me that you were feeling yourself and you were probably too forward with this woman because it's been very easy for you in the immediate future. I mean, immediate past.
Yeah.
Right? So you were probably way too forward with Amanda Seales, with a woman who some would argue and say is equally...
Well, the thing about it didn't get that far with Amanda.
It didn't.
It was other people that came to her that
because she's on a level playing field, and because she can say, "Hold on, buddy. I don't know what little floozies, what harlots you were with before, but I'm an independent fucking woman, and if you want to step to this, I'm not coming to your hotel room, right? I'm not bowing to you. You court me." But she took offense to it rather than saying, I prefer to be courted this way.
Well, I think what she had was she was more disappointed because she had built him up in her head. She admitted to that.
Sure, but in essence, what I'm getting
so when that happened, it was like and then to find out that it was all these other incidents, is like, yo, he did what?
Okay, but what if they all did the same thing and built him up in their head?
Well, I mean, dude,
he didn't assault.
I'm not saying he assaulted. I'm just saying that the behavior.
But to call him, and another thing Champ was doing was he was making predatory behavior synonymous with predator. Like, you are a sexual predator, and it's like, no, predatory behavior means that you're on the fence of doing shit that can be perceived, and being a sexual predator is, no, you're actively doing this to, like, you're entrapping.
But as a man, you come to the door naked and a single woman. What is that?
Yes, but if you paint it.
I'm just saying, what is that?
If I text you and say, hey, let's skip the bullshit, come over here, you know what it is, and she shows up at the door and I show up naked, it's perfectly normal.
The problem is I don't think that's what happened. Because if that's what happened, then I'm like, then you blowing this shit out of proportion.
Oh,
like, you knew what the deal was.
Okay,
so if that's the case, we ain't arguing that. Like,
so
the deal is.
So that, but
we grown ups here.
But that's what I'm submitting to you. But you keep changing it to you can't come to the door naked. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. There is a world in which you can.
I mean, if you're saying that, yes.
So,
but my I guess what I'm
I wish the video was still in on this because I know it's all. But this would have been the fucking hot.
My impression on it is that wasn't on the table. I'm coming to meet you to hang out, and you come to the table, come to the door fucking butt ass naked, and I'm like, yo, man, that's some
so in that instance, in that instance, Champ would argue against you. Because Champ is arguing.
We can argue that. But I guess in my instance is this. We live in a new world. We got away with that shit for the last how long?
But you keep going back to where you're being a creep and doing it.
How?
You keep saying we got away with it. Like, hey, come over, we're playing Jenga and watching.
So you saying men didn't get away with that shit?
I'm not
for
saying
the longest.
I'm not saying we didn't. What I'm saying is that
now you're not. You got to change your behavior, man.
No. This fucking world, man. No.
Hey, explain yourself, man.
No, I am, but you're not hearing me. There is a realm in which coming to the door naked is acceptable.
There is.
Right?
When both parties
have consented and agreed to it.
Yes.
So to what I was telling Champ is that could be perfectly normal behavior with a willing party.
Yes.
But it also, you being that maybe, right? Mm-hmm. You're a fucking millionaire, successful. I don't know what the guy looks like, but let's just say for the sake of the argument, you're attractive. Women just love you, right? Yeah. You can fall into the complacent mind frame that, hey, the last 9 women have accepted this, right? And I pitched it to them and they've accepted it.
That's where I would say we've got away with it for how long?
But don't. But you're introducing variables that don't belong in my scenario. He has done this and it has worked because so many women have regarded him as
we
such.
can agree that if it's
like, not getting away.
What is it called? If we get positive reinforcement,
yes.
we're gonna keep doing that behavior.
Yes, this behavior has
He
been
probably
deemed
did.
acceptable.
Yes.
And now I approach a woman who does not view this as acceptable behavior. Am I a sexual predator? No. I didn't court her the way she wanted to be courted. Maybe I was too forward. Maybe I was too confident.
But I feel like
because the last 9 have said yes to this, right?
Yeah,
Maybe I didn't ease into this gently enough, right? Maybe I wasn't gentle enough, but it can still be normal. It's just that it was normal with them, but with her, it was unacceptable, and you might have pushed that a little bit.
What I would say, and I guess my caveat to that is this: I feel like over the last few years, we know that the Me Too movement has been happening, and we already both just said that this brother is kind of like the unicorn. You know what I'm saying? Because of all that he has accomplished and what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but then you got to kind of be
disagree.
thinking above that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I gotta all my dealings have to be above board.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless it's completely.
but what did Amanda Seales say what was her personal testimony that he did what was his infraction?
It didn't get that far.
Exactly. Why didn't it get that far?
Other people because it triggered something with her.
So let me give you the other example I gave to Champ, right?
Go ahead.
So you said that it triggered something with Amanda, which Amanda said, no, I'm not coming over there because I don't agree with this, right? Mm-hmm. If the other women said yes and kept going, Amanda Seales had a red flag, and because to your point, she probably built this guy up to be this gentleman, and this is going to go a certain way.
Gentleman
Right?
scholar.
Yep, this is going to go a certain way. He's going to come over here, pick me up, take me to a nice date, and then all of a sudden he's just like, look,
He gonna talk to put the drawers out.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden he hit her with the, yo, I'm in town for one night. Yo, you should probably just come over here.
It wasn't even that. He was like, you should just pay and come see me in Boston.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, same thing. She wasn't even in the same town, right? So she would
in
have to
LA.
fly up there. Exactly. Right. So
country.
now she's like, okay, what the hell is going on? This isn't how I want to be courted. Which I agree with. If that's not how you want to be courted, cut that shit off like she did. Yeah. But he's not a sexual predator.
I didn't say that.
But now to the other women, right? And the example I gave Champ was Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
Went on a date. Young woman never told him no to anything.
It's the same, and I guess it's kind of similar, except
Right.
he actually got something out of it.
He's doing all this stuff to the girl, and she said, I didn't really want to do all these things, but you never said no. You never disagreed with what was going on with, right?
And
so
on them.
In Aziz's case, and the world agreed with this, is that, sorry, sweetie, you just had a bad date, right? It didn't go how you wanted it to go, but at no point in time, and I'm not saying that men should I'm not advocating for men taking advantage of women, but if you're on a bad date, right, and it's not going the way you want it to go, you can't say, well, okay, if I do this, maybe it'll get better. And then when it doesn't get better, then all of a sudden say, well, he took advantage of me. No, you were a willing participant in what you deem to be a bad date at the end of the day. So if he's being forward with these women, you should come see me, you should do this, you should do that, right? And I'm not saying that he's not a unicorn, and women are probably thinking this is a catch of a lifetime.
The nigga is a kind of a unicorn.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
NFL
no, I get it.
athlete,
I get it.
Rhodes Scholar,
I get it.
Neuroscientist, neurosurgeon.
I get it.
That is kind of a unicorn.
And
you're black.
I get it. But what you just what your example was like if you're a successful black man, if you're a successful black man, all of a sudden
Facts.
you have to be aware of your influence on everything.
That's all I'm saying. With him in particular.
But what if you just view yourself as just regular? But other people view these things.
We still got to deal with that. But if you in that type of situation, man, you got to, especially in this day and age.
Hey, ladies,
bro, it gotta be kind of, you gotta be spoons fed that. Like,
ladies,
yo,
listen to
you
me.
understand what's about to happen. You come into the room.
If you thought it was a man's world before, if you go down this road to where you say if a guy is successful, then he has control over everything, and no, they can say yes and no. They have the ability and they have the power to say what they want to participate in.
But I guess,
hold on, hear me out. What they want to participate in, and then if they leave there and say, well, I don't like that, you didn't like it. You agreed to it. It's like a roller coaster at the fair. You know what I'm saying? You get on it, but it's never as fun as you thought it was. You know, the roller coaster at the fair are never fun, but you get on them because you're at the fair and you're expecting, this will be exciting. You get on, it's boring as shit. It's boring. It's not exciting. There was like one little drop that was like kind of cool, and then after that, it's just like, that's what I waited in line 30 minutes for? Mm-hmm. This is bullshit. I want my money back. But you can't do that and then ruin somebody's career. You can't do that and label somebody a sexual predator.
But I guess my perspective and where I'm coming from is he wasn't upfront with it. He was kind of lazy about it.
How do you know that?
I don't know that. But that's kind of how I feel because of the fact that he come from a situation where he was a professional athlete. Women throwing a pussy at him. They're finding out where they live, where the hotel at, and just trying to find them a millionaire, and then throwing the fact that he's kind of like a smart one, like yo, bro. And then at that point, he don't have to be kind of like you said. I never really had to. I'm used to this type of way. I'm used to having this type of interactions, and now you actually have to be more. You have to be more explanatory about like, yo, this is how it's gonna be when you come over. Is that okay? And you kind of leave that out, and it's kind of like more like, yeah, let's come over, we chill, maybe get something to eat. And the chick hears, come over and chill, we're gonna get something to eat.
Sure, but
in that instance, hey, bro, you just got to be more explanatory. Like, yo, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
I guess I'm speaking from a standpoint that I know that there are women out there who don't mind a man being forward and knowing what they get into.
And the thing about it, I don't think
right,
and we're not arguing about that,
right? So
I'm just saying I don't feel like that's what happened. And if that's what happened, when I would freely admit, like, yo, y'all tripping. Like the man was upfront with you what he wanted.
Yeah, and
if you come to the room at that point, that's on you. You're a grown ass woman.
But that's kind of and I
Stay your ass
guess
at
we don't have any facts. But like I said, because I didn't want to take sides in that. I didn't want to take sides because he don't strike me as a guy that would take advantage of whatever, right? The
only thing I would say is
and not even
we already said that.
I take that back. I don't know anything about him.
The only thing I would say is he's a professional athlete. They're used to women throwing themselves at him. It's usually pretty easy for them.
Yeah. And you could be.
They don't really have to say much.
Okay.
They don't have to say much. They don't have to spit much game.
So I think I find this interesting because right now I feel like I'm defending fucking Myron, and then when I was talking to Champ, I felt like I was defending. He felt like I was defending Amanda Seales, which I wasn't. I'm just trying to keep things level and in the middle, right? Because
I don't want it to be that way, but it's just like, yo, dude.
Here are the facts.
If there's multiple women saying that you did something or they feel like they felt, I'm like, yo, maybe you have to change something that you're doing.
But that's what I told Champ, and that's what Champ took offense to, which I don't give a shit because he ended up agreeing with me at the very end of a 2-hour discussion. But
boy,
you get Champ to agree, boy. God damn. Shout out to his group chat with the other IOTAs, man, because apparently they don't agree with him either. But hey, fellas, we made it. Nigga, we made it. But so to keep things in the middle, because this is what I pointed out to Champ. No charges have been filed.
Nope.
Right? So all this loaded language, right? Yeah. Amanda Seales is doing exactly what Champ did to Amanda Seales, right? You send me an article saying black woman or anti-black man woman, whatever, and it's like the heading is loaded. It's preparing me for her it's painting her as she hates black men.
I don't think
right. It's already biased.
Yeah.
Right. So the articles are doing that for her. She's doing that about, or Champ was doing that about her. Right. So keeping it middle of the road. No charges have been filed. Mm-hmm. What I told Champ was, what I think is going on here is that you got a young man who probably needs to grow up a little bit.
Yes.
Right? Needs to grow up a little bit and realize that every woman isn't, the fast ass girls that are just trying to get a quick catch out of a celebrity or a NFL player, entertainer, surgeon, whatever.
There's a different type of woman that be trying to figure out where you stand in your hotel at,
That's right.
That's a different type of woman.
So I said that he needs to learn how to move a little bit better and not treat every woman the exact same way.
And I'm not. And the thing about it, let me clarify that I'm not hating on those type of women either.
Neither of us are. HT squared supports.
Yes. Hey, do what you do, baby. As long as you sign up for it.
Be very clear. HT squared support independent women, free thinking women.
Yes, indeed.
And we support y'all. I'm a married man though, so don't bother me.
I don't really want those problems either.
Yeah,
I ain't
don't bother me. Don't bother me. Send all that attention to Ivy. Ivy Joe.
I don't want it.
I wish there was a bullshit button over there. That ain't it. That whatever that was. Yeah, that was a failed one. That ain't it. But I think Myron, you got to move differently, right? Yeah, when I graduated and I was like no longer the college guy. And I was the successful guy, even with a $60,000 salary, I'm looked at like I'm balling. Like he got every time I see him in a different car, like that's just a perception.
Literally last week, motherfucker was like, "Oh, you work for who you work for? Oh yeah, I get paid well, good benefits."
See, there you go.
No, but
that's the perception, especially if your audience is a unaccomplished one, right? If you're hanging out at bars in a college town or something like that, a lot of young girls who haven't graduated yet, haven't secured their professional careers and everything, that might be very impressive to them. But somebody as accomplished as Amanda Seales, not so much.
Hell, if someone as accomplished as my man Myron Rowe, you gotta carry yourself differently.
Exactly. If he was talking to his equal, that shit might not fly. But it might fly. His equal might just want, hey.
But I feel like if you're talking to your equal, you're gonna be like, it's gonna be explain, you're gonna know exactly what you're getting yourself into. It's gonna be like, yo, I just need this.
Maybe, but see that
I think that's the problem. I think that's what the problem is.
Let me finish my quick takeaways real quick, which aren't so quick, right? He's gotta tighten up, move a little differently. We agree with that. Amanda Seales has to not take things. I think she kind of took his advances a little personally. Right?
She was. I feel like it's more she was let down.
Yeah,
not personal.
Yeah, but that's personal.
I thought it was gonna be something. Maybe
personal.
But I think it's more let down.
Okay, but that is personal.
I guess so.
Right? That disappointment that comes with that is like I had higher hopes for him. Right? I had higher hopes for this individual.
Okay.
Don't and especially because now she's going on, or she went on this press run, almost sharing his story almost everywhere she went, even though she was keeping his name anonymous for some amount of time. And now she's uncovered his name, right? I don't think that's the way that you handle that.
Well, I didn't like that. I wouldn't admit to that. Like I like the initial because I didn't know who that was.
Nope.
But I knew it was someone that she was disappointed in, and I was like, oh, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? And I know he knew who he was. I'm sure that would have stung either way because you knew she was talking to you about.
Absolutely.
Talking about you on national TV, essentially.
But at the end of the day, I think what this all comes down to is communication.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you communicate your intentions,
you gotta be better.
Say, I've always been a forthright person.
Gotta be forthright.
Always been a forthright person with my dealings. So if it was look, just come through. We could do this, and then you could be on your way.
See, I think that
if you say that, and
I don't know, I don't think he was that forthright. I don't see the thing about it is I don't think them boys actually have to learn that. Like we have to learn that.
Have to learn what?
Like to be that forthright. I don't think they have to learn that.
Okay, I had friends. I had friends in college that were upfront with all of their dealings. And women are intelligent beings. They're intelligent creatures.
Yeah.
Right? They're intelligent. They're arguably smarter than us.
Yeah, I would say that.
Because they have IQ and they have EQ. Whereas men, we can argue IQ.
Oh, we got an IQ.
Our EQ is fucking terrible.
Yes. I can admit to that. I can admit to that.
Look, ladies, if their study can be done and we beat you in IQ, You trump us the EQ. It's not even close. Like if we win in IQ, it's by marginal. It's
I'm horrible.
marginal.
I'm horrible at
EQ.
I'm horrible. Like I say that now. I don't like that. Like I shut down.
Ladies just look at us a certain way, and we just like go primitive. It's like, what the fuck is that? Yo, what is that? Then you like start beating your chest, and you want to fight or some shit.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, like we don't know how to deal with shit, bro. So if we're talking best well-rounded, women win, hands down, right? And I hate that because I used to watch Comic View, and I'm like, all these fucking comics saying women are smarter. All that. It's like, fuck y'all are stupid. But no, they're more well-rounded than we are, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're upfront with them, there are women out there that are like, yes, this is what I want to get into because I too have something going on, right? And what's the name? And is a kind of a bad example because eventually she got emotional. But from Insecure, what's Molly? Is that her name?
Okay, Molly,
the lawyer chick, right?
Yeah.
Who was choosing dudes and it's just like, oh no, girl, this isn't what this is. That's a pay and play, and I don't mean pay as in Roger Kraft kind of pay and play, but it's just like we just play, right? We just play. That's it. You don't come up over here no other time. You know what it is. But then she caught feelings, right? So there are women out there. If you're forward with them, right? If you're just open with them, not even forward, just open, they may be down for what you're down for because they like you, the fact that you're telling them what it is, and if they sign up for it or don't sign up for it.
I keep saying this, man, but I feel like that's the problem. I don't think he was. I think that's what the problem was.
Okay. And I
don't know. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I admit to that.
Yeah.
No. But I feel like that's really what, because I feel like those women, they pick up on that.
So let me give you let me pose a scenario to you.
Go ahead.
If he's got 17 women saying that he did it, right? Mm-hmm. Well, let's say his count is 300.
Yeah.
So 17 out of 300. Are you telling me that he's wrong?
So it depends on where that 17 is.
No. Let me say that the 17.
It does. Because if the majority of that 17 was outside of 5 years ago, and that 17 is in the last
okay, you didn't understand
50?
You didn't understand my scenario. My scenario is he is who he is today.
I picked up what you said. I'm just
But you're saying like the last 5 years. Like I'm trying to make this all relevant to like right now.
All right, let's say the last 5 years. Okay, let's go.
But you're changing. That's your scenario.
I'm trying to give you your scenario, but at the same time, you are trying to box me in as well, and I'm just trying to say like, yo,
I'm not boxing you. I'm giving you a scenario. I just want you to take on it.
300. That's including that's gotta include high school. That was over 10 years ago.
No, it don't. But okay.
Yes.
Okay. You think so?
Well, I mean,
look, I've heard guys say well over 300 on their body count. So,
all right, man. Okay.
I'm just giving you the situation. I'm just.
So
it's not really about the number. It's about that like.
But you said 17, a number. You said a number though.
But because it's like a ratio. Because you're making the 16 out to be like that every girl he's ever dated. I'm saying so if the 16 was a fraction, right? Mm-hmm. Would you still say he's doing something? He's got to be not being forward, or would you say okay? So
no. Okay. If you want to take it from that perspective, no.
That's all I want. That's all I was getting.
But what I will say, if that is something as far as, like I said, was the majority of that was last decade, and this 17 is, say for instance, a part of the last 100. Well, then yeah, it might be showing that you need to kind of readjust how you approach shit,
which is what I said anyway. So
yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, yo, man, I just, as a man, as a dude, as a guy that is a college grad, has a couple of advanced degrees, and has some type of like cachet to that perspective.
And the Tinder account, ladies.
Actually, I don't. I just, yeah.
A college degree.
I just go
master's degree.
Yeah,
full-time job, good benefits, Tinder account. Okay.
Yeah. I just went on and deleted all that. So at any rate,
okay.
But you got to carry yourself a different way, especially nowadays. You got to be upfront. And and my thing is those guys, because I'm sure you've been around those type of cats as well.
Which is yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they especially, and I was around cats back in like 2000, like back in 2003, 2005 when shit was just
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, shit was just thrown at him.
So,
and he was kind of like in that era.
So not to be all over the place, right? Because I told you it sounds like I'm defending him now, right? Whereas with Champ, it almost sounded like I was defending Amanda Seales. I'm completely middle of the road. That was what I told Champ. I said, I'm not basing my advice for him, because I said that's how I ended this all. I said, if I had to give advice to both of them, this is what I would say. Boom and boom. I said, based on my experience as a black man, a young black man, right? Young, successful black man in the environment and those that have been around me, we 100% have some behaviors that are unacceptable. Right? Yeah. It's not, now that's not saying that they're to the level of rape. I'm not talking that level, right? I'm not saying that.
And what he did wasn't like that, but exactly. At the same time, it's just like, yo.
So let's be clear about that, right?
Man. Like if you was my homeboy and you said you did that shit, I'd be like, yo, dude, you
tripping.
Yeah, you got too much to lose.
Thank you. Exactly. So
why you doing that?
That's what I meant to Champ when I said he can move a little different, because there are some behaviors that as a young dude you might be overly aggressive with it or too forward. And it's like, look, as a grown man with a job and maybe you got kids or something like that, that's at risk. Yeah. You got to dial that back. You got to be a little more, you got to be a little more suave with your delivery. A little more, James Bond.
You got to be a fucking nuke to do all that type of shit. I don't know if that boy can do all that, man. I don't know.
You see the colors,
I don't know if that boy.
Don't worry about the school. Did you see the colors?
I don't know if that boy.
Yeah. But, that's just the way it is, At some point, we're rewarded for being, aggressive and everything, and that's cool and everything at that point. But at some point in time, everyone gets refined. Women become more refined. Men become more refined, and that's what I think women are looking for. They're not looking for the fratty, which is the term I use. He's probably was behaving a bit
that's
fratty.
Very frat boy behavior.
He was probably behaving a bit fratty. He's got to dial that back and just adjust his behavior. Shout out to Amanda Seales and Omega Sci-Fi.
Okay, cool.
We ain't recording video, man. It is, but
if it is, you got it. All right. With that said, we're going to move on to Cardi B.
Yep.
Cardi B.
So the segue wasn't as... or the tie.
Cardi Cosby. Huh? Cardi Cosby?
Oh.
I like that.
I see what you did. Yeah. Did you do that? Is that you? Or did you see that on Twitter?
Someone sent that to me.
Oh, he stole that. Okay.
Yeah, someone sent that to me.
You borrowed it.
I borrowed it.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. I see what they did there. Yeah. So I guess I was thinking that that somehow that would tie into, and it kind of does, but it doesn't, because Amanda Seales was on the opposite end. So my tie was not accurate at all. Sorry, I'm talking to myself, but thinking out loud. So yeah, Cardi B in the news this week for an interview from like 2 or 3 years ago, in which she interview 2-3 years ago, in which she said, was basically saying that she's done some foul shit, and and then she confessed to drugging dudes and robbing dudes, that wanted to go back to the hotel room with her in her days as a stripper. How you feel about that?
I mean, it's definitely a double standard, because I don't feel no kind of way about it. She a woman.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't know, man. I just don't. Like I said, it's a double standard. Like if it was a man, I'd probably feel like, yo, that's fucked up, and it's fucked up that she did it. But I'm not like, yo, you should have been on your square, nigga. Should have been on your square. Like, yo, what you think them strippers gonna do? They gonna try to get the best of you.
Ivy just made a move towards the board. I had no idea what sound he was going to hit. I didn't know if you were going for the bajuch or the alien sound. No. I didn't know where we were going with that. Man.
I guess for me, if you dealing with strippers and y'all don't have an understanding, and they ain't like your old lady or some type of shit, like you should be on your square. Hey man, they gonna get what they can get out of you.
So I
don't know. Maybe again, maybe because she's a woman, it is a double standard.
I disagree. I disagree.
We can.
I disagree because she drugged him. Right now, if you a trick, right, and she overcharged you, you got overcharged. All right, if you're a trick, if you a patron to strip club and you go in there and you drop $850, you went there and you drop $850. That was just you having a good night. You know what I'm saying? I've gone to a strip club and lost a couple hundred. You know what I'm saying?
Is that all?
Couple hundred, you know.
Is that all you?
Couple. There's a couple. You know what I'm saying?
I thought that's what you were saying. You know what I mean?
Hey man, you want to know, you gotta go. You want to know, you gotta go. But that's just what that is, right? You paid.
Yeah.
You paid to play. Now, I guess this comes back down to communication again, man. If and I'm not speaking down on sex workers or nothing like that, right? If she say, "Oh yeah, we're going back to the room. That'll be this much." Boom, boom. And he say, "Okay, bet." And they go back to the room. That's what it is. Now you go back to the room and you drop something in his drink, and you know you rob him. You get him for everything that he's got.
Yeah.
I mean, being from where I'm from, I'm inclined to say you got to charge that to the game.
Like I said, yeah.
But it's still wrong. It's still manipulation.
So it's wrong.
Still taking advantage of somebody.
It's wrong, but I'm not gonna get on the soapbox. But at the same time, yeah, let me just stop there. It's wrong, but I guess I wouldn't look at it the same way.
Go on, come on, keep going.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm trying to incriminate. Yeah, you're gonna incriminate me, baby. Yeah, I just had this long conversation about Myron not knowing his fucking play. Like, yo, we gotta know where to stop, baby. I'm stopping. That's me.
I don't even know what you was getting at, but I know what you was
I was about to
getting
say,
at.
like, hey, there was something about. We'll talk offline.
Yeah, word to that. Hey man, if y'all want to hear the offline conversation, hey, you gotta pay for that, baby. You know what I'm saying? Come to the hotel room. We'll discuss it with you.
But anyway,
that was a play on this situation. They came to the over here. And plus, I'm a guy, so it wouldn't really go over.
But like again, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a guy and it's a woman.
There's no double standard for drugging somebody.
I don't really.
That's what I don't get. You can't say guy and being a guy and a girl. There's no double standard for drugging somebody.
I don't know,
There's
man.
double standard for having your chest out.
Maybe I don't know, man. I felt I would feel more inclined if it was like a guy taking advantage of a woman. Maybe because I'm a guy.
No, it's not even because you're a guy.
Nah, I would say both of them wrong, but I feel more like, yo, the guy shouldn't do that. Because I guess because I'm a guy.
Okay, but that's not because you're a guy. That's because you're a gentleman. That's because you're chivalrous.
I appreciate
that. That's
that,
because
man.
you hold women to a higher regard.
Yes,
right?
I do.
But if you're not, and you see women as equal marks as you see men, that's a target. If a woman drop her phone in the club, you're not picking that up and saying, "Hey, you dropped this." You saying,
"You better get that shit.
Tighten up." Tighten up, bitch.
You better get your shit.
You know what I'm saying? But that's more to your character, and you can't project your character to that situation. She drugged a dude.
Yeah.
If a dude drugged a woman, it don't matter even what follows that,
it's
right?
Wrong. It's wrong.
Imagine if you saw Donald Trump drugged a woman, right? That's crazy. The headline is crazy. He's canceled. Rick Ross said, popped, you know what?
Yeah.
Molly in a drink. She didn't even know it.
Yeah.
They came for his throat.
Yeah, they did.
Rocco took him out. Rocco never played that version of that song again.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it don't even matter what happened after that. What you just said was the precursor. It was the intro.
We don't like it, but it's a double standard for women and men.
Look, I watch Monster and I say, and when I say Monster, I mean the movie. Mm-hmm. Right? I watch that and I'm just like, I don't think yeah, damn, them dudes should have been on their square. I think that's some fucked up shit them women did.
Monster, what's that?
Ain't that the one where they were like getting over and murdering all these dudes, killing these guys and taking advantage of them and stuff?
I don't know that song.
Seducing.
I don't know that movie.
I think that was Halle Berry.
Is that what they were doing in that movie? I remember by Halle Berry, getting done in by Billy Joel.
Yeah, not that one.
Okay, that's not that's Monster Ball. That's the only monster I know.
I feel like there was a movie called.
But I mean, she wrong. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, cancel her. Y'all do what y'all do. I mean, y'all, this generation is a lot more sensitive than the generation I came from. You boys should just be on your fucking square. She got you.
I mean, you do got to move smarter, and I mean, only one guy's come forward right now, and part of that is
she got you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
part of that is because we shame.
Pretty girl, she got you, man.
We shame dudes.
Like, when you batting over your fucking you over your skis, should she be coming in the room with you? No. Hey, man.
Here you go. Based on the life, this is Monster 2003. Based on the life,
is that Monster Ball?
No, I'm reading it. Based on the life of Aileen Wuornos, a Daytona Beach prostitute who became a serial killer. Like promising dudes pussy, and then they show up and you just start murking dudes off. You taking it, you taking
Monster, yeah. I don't
show up to the room, you pop a little something in there, and then you slice them up, toss them in the fridge, Jeffrey Dahmer style.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I wasn't tripping. I'm like, no, maybe
You're right on that.
I know I was younger. I ain't seen it since it came out. Watching it on Showtime.
I don't even know if I seen
Mama
that.
try to cover your eyes and shit.
I don't even know if I seen that.
Yeah. Check it out, and then you maybe your perspective will change.
Dude. Honestly, bro, if a woman can get the better of you as a man, it just is what it is at that point.
That's a danger. You can't say that statement in 2019.
That's how I feel. Physically.
You gotta go to sleep.
Again, she had to get the better of you. I mean, dude, you put yourself in that position.
Did you?
Yes.
When you get drugged, you didn't put yourself in that situation.
Yeah, you did. You allowed her to drug you. You put yourself in that room to get drugged.
I could have been at the club with you, and you said like, "Hey," and I look over at you, and then she dropped something in my drink.
So you're trying to act like there's not always exceptions to every rule. I mean, there's exceptions.
I mean, you was doing it earlier.
There's exceptions to every rule.
You was doing it earlier.
But if you go back to the room with her and under the guise of getting some pussy, hey man, you put yourself in that position. You got to be on your square. If you put yourself in a position where you can get drugged, that's on you, man.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
Like you have to. Hey,
I feel like
you got to take some give and take with it, bro. I mean, you want to get that pussy.
I just think it's wrong. Regardless of what it is.
Of course, it's wrong. Of course, it's wrong. If someone does something, against you that hurts you, that harms you, that of course it's wrong. It's just like, what the type of world we live in.
Yeah, man. That's just.
All right, man, you do what you do, man. Hey, I feel you, man.
That's how I feel, baby.
Hey, man, I love that you feel that.
That's how I feel, man. So a lot of people out there, you got the surviving Cardi, hashtag going on, where men are calling for justice because, hey, shout out to my son. Men are calling for justice because, not even justice, but just calling for like treat her the same way you would treat, any dude that appears to be doing something kind of deviant. You don't even got to really be guilty. It's just like you did some shit that people don't like and they try to cancel dudes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she keep that same energy with Cardi. And I don't necessarily this is how I feel. I feel like anytime you drug somebody and you take advantage of them, that's fucking wrong, right? So
it's wrong.
But then nobody brought charges for her. So
you know why they didn't bring charges against him?
Well,
because they felt exactly what I said.
Well,
she got him.
Yeah, but that's not.
She got me.
Yeah, but I feel like women have said that with dudes taking advantage of them, and then it still is an issue.
Then
right?
we just say it's a double standard. Like Women can get away with that type of shit. We can't.
Because men don't. We have low EQ, and because when a dude brings something to you and says like, "Yo, man, this bitch took advantage of me," it's just like, you pussy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
This is stupid. This is so fucking dumb. Whatever.
But I guess the one thing I would always say is that I want to say, with regards to this situation as a whole, when you take the totality of it, women are never usually in a position of power. It's usually men in a position of power, and that's why it's always sort of like they have to use that to get some power, to level the playing field. They have to drug you to level the playing because we're naturally what? Physically stronger than them to get the advantage of them. So, again, I would never say that that's right. But, hey, you know what they have to do anyway. You go into a situation, you got to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I feel like somebody put something in my drink once.
Probably. My bad, dude. My bad.
You're laughing at me, you know what I'm saying?
My bad, dude.
You're laughing at me. We need a support group.
Hey, man,
we need a support group sound effect.
Hey, dude, I'm sure it has
that
happened.
night,
I'm sure it has happened.
that fucking night went from, I think I had one drink. I remember having one drink. And
so
the next thing I know,
the one thing I will say
my
is
dog carrying me out the club. You know
the
what
one
I'm saying?
thing I will say is that's the situation, then yes, someone slipped a Mickey in your drink.
Yeah, man. It was my birthday.
One drink should never happen. It should never happen after one drink.
2011. It was my birthday. And we got a bottle, but I don't feel like we drank the whole bottle. And I feel like my tolerance is higher than that, to have a drink or two and then be that sloppy.
Good old Mega
I woke
Man
up the
should
next
definitely
day.
have more talent than that.
I had no idea where I was at when I woke up the next day.
Oh, shit.
No idea. I was in a soft, comfortable bed. White walls all around. It was super bright in the room. You know what I'm saying? And I remember just raising my head slowly. And I'm just like, fuck, like this ain't my shit.
No.
And I'm just like, okay. Okay, all right. And it's just like, you're going to look. I could feel that I was at the edge. The edge of the bed was to my left. And I'm like, you're going to look slowly to your right. So I do. I just slowly turn my head to my right. I'm still under the covers, right? Nobody there. And I'm like, damn. All I see is white. It's just bright. It's just bright everywhere. Too bright to be my fucking place. Too bright. I'm like, fuck. All right, so okay. You're gonna look to the left. We gotta do a sit rep. You gotta figure out where the fuck you're at. So I turn my head to the left. Slowly. I see legs. I see a foot. I see legs. And I'm like, oh shit, who the fuck is this? Like I'm drawing you in my voice. Trying to. Is it working? I don't know. Fucking make fast forward from the foot to the fucking eyes. It's my wife.
Good place to be.
It's who is now my wife. And I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Yeah, but
I know she's a good woman.
Well, putting out at the time, so I know nothing happened.
Even better.
Maybe in the mindset that I was in at the time. Nah, man, I was hoping that this was
Yeah, of course, we always wanted.
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't the case. She was up studying at the desk. And I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? Like you were too drunk and your friend dropped you off over here because he didn't want to be bothered with you.
Shit. No bueno, man. No bueno.
Where are my glasses at? I can't see. I'm blind. I couldn't see nothing. You know what I'm saying? I had to go to class with her wearing what I was wearing the night before the club.
That's how the Qs do it, huh?
But fast forward to today. We're almost 2 years happily married with a beautiful baby boy. So it worked out.
I can attest. I've been there. I've seen him.
Yeah, he's been to the wedding. He's seen the son. It's all true. So
seen the place, seen the home, beautiful home.
Yeah, man. Maybe she did that. Maybe she. I'm gonna go home and ask her. Did she drop that in my drink?
She did. I'm not gonna go there. I won't go there.
You just said, of course, you did.
No. I was thinking like maybe she did everything to make all this happen. Yes, she did.
Look. Well, here we are. So, that's just my take on it, man. Cardi B, I think she's gonna definitely face some flack with her sponsors and all that.
So in her position, she's gonna have to face something. There's gonna be some backlash, but
I think it's gonna be minimal though. Is what I was getting at. I don't think nobody's really gonna make a big deal about this. But I think they should. I think that that type of double standard. There's no room for that. I think that drugging anybody, that shit is just what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
And it should be equally. It could be equal. It should be equally offensive. Now, what you do after that should be held on its own merit. So dudes that date rape girls and drug them and then have sex with them after when they're unconscious or whatever, like, hey, throw them under the jail.
But I think that's probably the caveat. She didn't rape them. Whereas, like everyone that they was trying to they was equating that to like Cosby. Cosby actually has, allegedly or whatever, had some type of sexual encounter with.
But all right, so that could be true. But I guess my thing on this is because she said that what she would do is, you drug them, you rob them, and you leave like a condom wrapper and some shit behind, right? Mm-hmm. Is that if a man did that, would that not is? So I guess what I'm getting
as far as the condom is concerned, what is that? What are you saying she did with that? What are you?
She's implying that there was intercourse there, right? So I guess what I'm getting at is that there's a mental and a physical aspect to rape. Because if a man did that, even if you didn't touch a woman, right? If you didn't touch her, but you left that condom wrapper there, right? She's going to believe that she was raped, and that whole psychology behind that, right? There's a mental effect. Yeah, there's a mental effect there that like, I did not, whatever. Just because you left a condom wrapper behind. And I don't know. Hey, guys, don't do that.
The funny thing, the craziest thing, I just thought about it, and maybe this is like the biggest mentality. I think, it'd be crazy if that actually make a nigga think that he actually fucked and was like, well, at least I fucked.
Well, that's where that's where our solace lies.
Like, well, that's
the one thing where the guy's just like, damn, well, I beat.
She got me, but I fucked. It looks like I did.
I beat,
the condom's out.
He wake up refreshed because he got, probably 3 doses of roofie and woke up a week later.
Had 15-hour rest.
Yeah, woke up refreshed, thinking like, well, man, I got it. Tank top ripped, and it's just like, oh, it was a wild night. Well, I beat, so it was worth it. It was worth the $850.
I beat that down.
It was not worth the $850. Let me just give you that. It's
bro,
$850. It ain't worth $850.
You got to go with what you're willing to lose. That's all I say. Hopefully, you went with what you're willing to lose.
I don't even understand how prostitutes do that. How do you?
Hey, bro,
how do you charge more?
It's a dirty, dirty world.
But how do you charge more?
Baby. It's a cold, cold world. How do you as the Hot Boys once said.
How do you charge more though? If it was a set of twins standing in front of you, and one was saying it's $150, and one was saying this $1,500, what?
I don't know.
How you justify that? I don't know. I don't know how we how we would wake up from that and say $850. At least I beat. I guess that was a good price. That's kind of crazy to me. I guess you got to know the price to
But it also it goes back to being a guy and admitting that a woman got the better of you.
Yeah, we so stupid.
Yes,
we just dumb as hell in that instant. Yes, we always charge.
We can't admit to that.
We would rather.
Cause think about it. Think about it like this.
This is how dumb we are.
When a woman is actually beating the man up, how often does the dude actually charge domestic violence?
Never.
Like, but the cop literally has to like roll up on her beating your ass.
This is how dumb we are. And the cop's not even gonna do that. He's still gonna arrest you and then just laugh at you on the way to the station. This is how dumb we are. We'd rather say like, damn, I gotta charge that to the game than to admit that a bit committed a crime and got the
better of you.
That is a crime.
Exactly.
Now, prostitution is a crime too, but we're both complicit in that, right?
Yes.
If you solicit a prostitute, that's an agreement. That's a transaction.
We agreed.
But we'd rather say like, damn, sometimes that happened. Then to
charge to the game, baby.
Then to go back to the club with the cops. Like, there that bitch go right there.
Charge to the game.
There that bitch go. She drugged me and stole that's my chain. She went right now. That's my chain. Look at this picture. Dog, that's ego, man.
Yeah.
And Ryan Holiday would tell you, ego is the enemy. True. But when you know better, how's it? I don't even know how to say.
You know better, you do better.
Well, that ain't
that what you're looking for?
I think I was hoping that it was something else at the end of when you know better, but whatever. So I mean, we at 237, man. I think we pretty much covered it.
I think so.
I'm
happy
interesting
with
conversations, hot takes and half truths, ladies and gentlemen. Where just because we agree doesn't mean we won't argue.
Yeah, just because we agree don't mean we agree, baby. Feel free to reach out to us on our social media platforms, HT Squared Pod on IG and Twitter.
Hey.
Hot Takes and Half Truths on YouTube and SoundCloud.
Hey.
And you can reach me at I am Ivy Joe on IG and Twitter. Watch it myself.
And follow your boy at Just Kingin', IG and Twitter. I'm more active on Twitter, man. I like to talk. I like getting people perspective and shit like that.
I see him on that way more than I see IG.
Yeah, IG. Well, IG give me anxiety, man. I guess I see like the fakeness in IG, whereas in Twitter it's like genuine conference. It's not all genuine. Some of it's like a lot of jokes. So Twitter, I get, I'm entertained by Twitter, whereas IG, I just be like, y'all capping and selling pussy.
Gotcha.
That's
and
all I see.
Be on the lookout for. I got a second podcast coming out fresh out the porch. Be looking at more or less videos, movies, and TV shows. I focus on that. So be on the lookout for that. You can catch me on IG, fresh out the porch. Anything else?
I might come up with something myself because I do got my my Yeti mic, where I was thinking of doing kind of commentary on just independent commentary. I think on some of these same topics, but as well as just the some side ventures I got, and it'd be something like Follow the Hustle or something like that, to where I walk people through, me starting up some ventures and doing some ventures and kind of documenting that in a way. And showing people, I'm actually, taking chances out here, and from, $500 investment, you make
definitely doing that.
$3,000, $4,000. Just walking.
I'm hoping that this falls into the hot takes and half truth lane.
Well, we'll see. We shall see. So that's been episode 6, ladies and gentlemen.
Episode 6 from the two of us to all of you.
Thanks for fucking with
Talk
us.
to you tomorrow.
Holla. Hey. Shout out to Webbs. Thanks for the beats.